DCP. Sawa iko DCP. Kila mtu anaiona? Haya hapa iko hapa. DCP. Nataka confirm. Nataka confirm. Iko. DCP. UDA. DCP, 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 UDA, DCP, 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 UDA, DCP, 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 UDA, DCP, UDA. Utakuta na vile vile imefuatana. Fatafaa Hussein Abdullahi.
Jaribuni sana. Otherwise tutapata.
What do we do now? Because we're waiting for the results. D. But unajua sasa hakuna way out. Slow progress. Hopeless tumefika. Ni slow. Agent wa kujua ni istabiri. Help for person. We know the next.
All right, it is the battle for all Kalou and of course the soul of Mount Kenya. Welcome to our continued coverage here on K24 and of course Kameme TV as we continue to bring you up to speed with what is happening on the ground. Polls have already closed. Right now we are counting the votes. I just want to bring you up to speed with what has been happening during the day. Then of course we've been covering this from 6 a.m. and we'll say we will cover it until the last vote is counted and the winner is announced here in the country. This has been termed as one of the elections that will actually be shaping what the 2027 politics will look like here in the country. Now, several journalists, of course, covering the Ol Kalou parliamentary by-elections were attacked today by armed men wearing baklavas at the ASC primary school polling station. Of course, some cameramen have reportedly been tased and beaten, and of course robbed of their camera equipment. Of course, we also saw chaos erupt in that particular area as residents protested against plainclothes police officers allegedly attempting to gain entry into some of the polling stations. We've also seen a section of the residents take to the streets after unidentified vehicles carrying unknown individuals allegedly allowed into the polling stations during the by-elections today. We've also seen the former deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua, who is also the DCP party leader. And of course, that particular party is one of the parties that fielded a candidate in this particular by-elections. He alleges that police disrupted the Kalou by-elections, accusing President William Ruto's government for interfering with the vote. And of course, he did mention quite a number of members of parliament from the Mount Kenya region, castigating them and accusing them of interfering with the by-elections in Kalou at the moment, which of course counting is currently ongoing. The Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, now says that the government will investigate those allegations of hooded officially closed at 5 p.m. Time to make sense of what the day has been and what this means for the country, even as we prepare ourselves for the 2027 elections, and exactly what, which direction we are actually taking and what this would mean for the country moving forward. Joining us for this conversation this evening, of course, we do have Professor Alfred Omenya, policy and governance expert. Good afternoon. Good evening, sorry, Prof.
Good evening, Brad. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure having you here.
Yes.
You guys had escaped. You thought you'll never come back. Now you're here. Thank you so much.
All of us?
Like,
Yeah, all of you.
Yes.
All of you. That's why time I try looking for you guys, you're always busy. But this time we found you. Thank you so much for making time.
Excellent.
Rachel Omolo, of course, governance expert. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
And of course, Harrison Kinyanjui, advocate. Thank you so much for coming.
It's a pleasure.
I want us to start from an assessment of what the day has been, and you know, counting right now is ongoing in Kalou. But what will be your assessment from based on what has been reported and what you've been able to interact with during the day? Prof, let me start with you.
No, Brian, of course, we've been very critical about the campaign processes in Kalou, and you know, with those claims of bribery and violence and so on. Now, when voting started in the morning, I was quite impressed. I was like, yeah, really, I mean, maybe ABC did something or somebody did something. It was quite orderly. Yeah, but then I think as we're moving towards midday, I think we just went back to our usual behavior. Hooded men, journalists being beaten, very clear intimidation. The public, you know, throwing stones and so on at different groups. You know, claims tear gas being thrown at voting stations. Yeah, and I'm just curious. It'll be pretty interesting to figure out what exactly was going on, and also the timing. That did somebody see a pattern in the morning session that then you know result? A good politician here will tell us. There's a time when ballot boxes disappear. Vanish and then results appear. Yeah, but I found that pattern very, very interesting. It was a pretty interesting observation because I was like, oh, interesting. So you know, we can actually have these scuffles, and then we have a perfect election day. Yeah, but I think just like the African teams in the World Cup, we played very well in the first half. And then the goons came back in the second half later. Yeah, but we hope that doesn't substantially change the facts to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rachel, I don't know what your assessment is from what we've been able to experience and what has been reported in the media.
We were all witnessing a very calm, orderly election. And things seems like IBC was regaining the trust from members of public, because largely everyone was like, oh, we are witnessing something different this time around. And as the day progresses, then we start witnessing a bit of chaos here and there, spotted areas. where it started by the police officers. I think they'd made it, the IBC had made it very clear that no one was supposed to enter the polling area. Yes, with any vehicle or something like that. And then now we see the police officers coming in a manner to suggest that we are not also barred from doing this, in as much as I think they were there to ensure that it's a very peaceful election. But in the end, it turned out to be something different. People were supposed to create order and peace, and now it's appearing like they're the very same people that are making people a little bit agitated. So I think, by and large, the morning session was good. A bit of quote-unquote now hooliganism in the afternoon. We even saw some people undressed. I mean, it's just been horrible later. As it progressed, the day ended in a very bad way. Let me put it like that. Yeah, and it speaks to how prepared are we really as a people for even a by-election. Yeah, are we going to see this continuous trend every other time? Is there something that we can do? How responsible are we as citizens? And what is this that we leave to the police enforcement officers and all that kind of stuff? So where do we stop so that we have a peaceful election?
Where do we stop so that we have a peaceful election? Harry, Zon, what do you make of the day so far, and that just what we witnessed from your perspective?
This is extremely sad. It's unhappy. I think someone somewhere has either not appreciated the sacrosanct nature of an election, or, which is more likely to me, they are deliberately cooking the scenario that we have witnessed with a view to normalizing these sort of things. Because you ask, well, is this the usual? The Kenyan people should not accept these as the usual. It's a failure on the part of the IEBC to have put its foot down. Note, Article 88 of the Constitution places the exclusive mandate of the conduct of elections on the IEBC. Not on me, not on you, not on her, not on him, not on any other Kenyan person. And therefore, the Kenyan people, having therefore ceded that constitutional and statutory right to the IEBC, and the Kenyan people having accepted that they will get into their pockets by means of their tax money, pay each and every person working to execute that mandate. It is a failure of our constitutional mandate if we should have a so-called goonism, if we should have the so-called violence in the conduct of that sacrosanct act. Now we must remember, the Voting Act of a national member of assembly, in this instance, perhaps when we come to the ward representative, the county governor or such like, but in this instance, this is a person in whom the all Kalou constituents are vesting in this person their constitutional right under Article 1A of the Constitution. And they are saying, we the Kenyan people of all Kalou, having then decided to vest in you this our power, then you go and represent us, be our voice. That's what I'm saying. The Voting Act itself is a sacrosanct act. Now when you find the IEBC either being reluctant to enforce the electoral code of conduct or completely acting blind, then they have failed in their mandate and in their responsibility and in their duty. It can never be normal or normalized that you see police officers, hooded people, going into a polling station and creating havoc. In my humble view, this is the preface, the prelude, as it were, of what we are likely to witness in 2027. And who is the perpetrator? In my view, it is they who are in government, because you cannot have hooded people who are accompanied by the police. And I always say that for the Attorney General, she has failed this nation because under Section 3, Subsection 3 of the Public Order Act, it is only the Attorney General that is vested with the power to go to court, the High Court, and say that we have incidents of goonism and goons, and we have this evidence from the Inspector General, and you ask for orders from the High Court. to arrest that scenario. Has she done it? She hasn't. So we're finding these continuous failure of institutions and persons that are tasked to nip this in the bud before it mutates to something much more dangerous like the 2007 pre-election.
Pepsodent is aware that globally 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. Give her Pepsodent. It repairs tiny holes.
Like she has said, showed up with enthusiasm, thinking that this is now a changed template for the IEBC. Alas, when the deal is too good, think twice. So it was too good in the morning. And so you felt that, well, there's something similar in the background. It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. It's a failure on the IEBC.
Correct.
And our institutions. The police force, in this instance, has been hijacked. You're using the police force to perpetuate your political entrenchment.
Correct.
Okay.
For what purpose?
All right.
To continue your theft of resources. It is unacceptable. Kenyan people must get to a point and say, this is unacceptable.
Okay.
And when we look at the electoral code of conduct, it binds everyone.
Correct.
Yeah, it does.
Everyone. Now, the political party itself, the UDA in particular, because they are in power,
Correct.
they are bound. And you ask, have you read section 3 of the electoral code of conduct? The purpose of that electoral code of conduct is to ensure that there is a conducive environment.
Correct.
And that section ends up with to prevent reprisals. Now, if you take the state machinery and you now funnel it and channel everything to punish some community, some person, some constituents, some individuals because they have not voted for you or not subscribing to your political ideology, you're contravening Section 3 of the Electoral Code of Conduct. Who's supposed to enforce it? The IEBC's enforcement committee. Is it you? Is it me? Is it her? Is it the Kenyan people? No, it's the IEBC. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The IEBC must rise up to the occasion. It hasn't.
It hasn't. Prof, we saw the IEBC come out, issue warnings to some extent before these elections today. Some members of parliament that were, using some words that could actually inflame the country and the region were actually fined.
Right.
Harrison says it hasn't risen up to the occasion when it comes to nipping this before it actually gets out of hand. Did we see this situation come to life, and did we ignore it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was just reading again the newspapers today when I was arriving here, and on IBC, Kenyans have been seeing bizarre things, people giving wads of money outside there, people being given government branded mattresses, and people being given also all manner of things. And as far as Anderitu of IBC is concerned, that is development. That is not voter bribery.
Treatment.
It's called voter treatment. Yeah, she invented a new word. That so basically, we'll be treating voters. We don't bribe them. My point is that if anybody or any institution was to take the high road on this matter, is IBC. It's not even me and you. It's IBC that are meant to hold people to a gold standard of these elections. But it's IBC that's saying, no, we shall not even worry about that. That is voter treatment. And then, of course, we're starting to look at, and we can look at each of these institutions. As Harrison has eloquently put it, election day, I mean, even with bad campaigns, election days in Kenya have generally been sacrosanct, actually. The behavior, even crazy fellows, and Rahel, you guys have been there, even crazy fellows become normal. Polling stations are normally very, very organized. And yeah, so which is this standard that IBC is accepting, and if you shift it away from IBC, Kipchumba Murkomen already made a statement. I think it must be his 1000th statement that action shall be taken. Action shall be taken. Yeah. And again, as Harrison invites us to interrogate, this government that we pay a lot of taxes have not taken action. I think the only reason they've not taken action is because, from their side, is because they can't figure out whom these people are.
Oh, they do. Oh,
and,
they do.
And what I'm saying is that, I'm coming to Harrison. On a light note, you know, we see the people's faces here from morning on TV.
Of course, humor.
They don't even hide their faces. We see them on social media. We see them. In fact, you don't need to look. They're even known, you know, in those neighborhoods and so on. So again, we ask ourselves, why is government, in a way, condoning this goonism that we're talking about?
Okay.
Again, I was thinking, look at those images, and I was just thinking for myself, Amwai, where can I buy tear gas? You know, because tear gas was being used quite generously there by goons. Okay. Who sells tear gas in this country? Of course, those are things that are actually bequeathed with government.
Right.
So my point generally is that we have a government behaving badly. People are just not saying it directly. We have a government behaving badly, and that is something we need to urgently discuss with the government in power.
Okay.
Because the problem is, they're creating a situation where even their outright win will be challenged, because the environments that are being created are clearly not conducive, you know, for elections. You're talking about intimidation. You're talking about bribery. You're talking about you know, fear mongering, and you're talking about harassment of citizens. And so on. Those are not environments that you can say are ideal for election.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me cross over to a reporter on the ground, Francis Wawira, who is in all Kalou, and of course we do understand that the polling stations have closed. Voting exercise, counting exercise has already begun. Francis, over to you. What's the latest from that particular side?
Thank you very much. Asante sana na kushukuru zaidi. Leo imekuwa siku ya kufana. Tumefanya kazi, tumetembea, tumeangalia vituo vya uchaguzi. Mambo imekuwa vizuri sana. Na ile taswira ambayo naweza elezea mtazamaji ni kwamba tumekuwa na siku mzuri sana. Wakazi wamejitokeza kuweza kupiga kura. Pia maafisa wa IEBC wameweza kusaidia wapiga kura kwa njia inayofaa. Ukweli ni kwamba pia wale maafisa wenye walikuwa wameambiwa na Inspector General wa polisi 1000, ukweli umeweza kusaidia wananchi, manake kumekuwa si mahali kwingi kumepatikana vurugu, lakini kuna mahali tofauti kama mahali ambapo nimesimama AC Primary, kumekuwa na vurugu hapa na pale, ambapo kuna wahuni walikuwa wamejaribu kuingia hapa, lakini wakaaji wakaweza kuwafukuza na jamaa yao haikuweza kuwafikiana. Na kufikia kwa wakati huu ni kwamba kura zinaendelea kuhesabiwa kutoka maeneo mengi tofauti, vituo vya kupiga kura tofauti, na kwingine kwa kufikia saa hii matokeo tayari yashatokea, na kuna wengine kila mwaniaji sasa kuna wengine washajua kwamba kwa hii polling station niko na hii, na hii polling station nyingine niko na hii, na kufikia sasa tuseme kwamba IEBC wamefanya kazi mzuri, agenti pia wamefanya kazi mzuri, observers wenye walikuwa wako ndani huko kwa polling stations bado wanafanya kazi mzuri sana, na tuseme kwamba heko kwa maafisa wa polisi, manake kuna mambo tofauti wamefanya. Lakini kwa saa hizi kuna mahali kunaitwa Huruma na hapa chini huko mambo ni moto kidogo, manake kuna marisasi tunaweza kusikia kutoka upande huo, na tukitoka hapo tutaelekea hapo ndio tujue ni nini kinaendelea. Lakini ni kama maafisa wa polisi wanaendelea kung'ang'ana na wakaaji ambao wanataka kuona kura zikihesabiwa, na kwa hivyo huku kufikia kwa sasa, wacha tuseme mambo iko mzuri, vituo vingi havikuwa na vurugu.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list.
Ya mpiga picha wangu Ivan Sokeo, hapa tumefanya kazi na bado tunaenda kuletea mtazamaji wa K24 matokeo kadri yatakavyopatikana. Wacha nirudishe usukani kwako, na kutoka hapa katika kaunti ya Nyandarua, mimi ni Francis Wawira. Mambo ni
I hope they don't snatches.
Sawa, shukran. Haya.
All right, that is Francis, of course, from Nyandarua County, of course, Ol Kalou constituency, bringing us up to speed with what the situation on the ground at the moment is. And, of course, you do understand that the polling stations did close at 5 p.m. And right now it is the counting of votes exercise that is currently ongoing, according to Francis. In the next 3-4 hours, the Ol Kalou residents will know who their member of parliament is. They woke up today morning, went to cast their ballot to exercise their democratic right in electing a representative in the National Assembly that will go legislate and, of course, oversight and represent them. Rachel, quite a lot has been said and quite a blame, placed on certain institutions and, of course, the government. Who bears this particular blame when it comes to the kind of chaos that we witnessed today?
I think we are all responsible, and I thank the reporter, Francis. He has said that the police officers, they've done a good job today. They restored order and peace in particular areas where there are a bit of issues. But it is our responsibility as nations or citizens of this nation that we take up our responsibilities of conducting ourselves in a manner that upholds the Constitution. We have all, Kinyanjui here has talked about the electoral conduct and all that kind of stuff. We all know after you voted, what are you supposed to do as a voter? After you voted, you're supposed to go far away from the polling station. As far as 100 meters away from the polling station. But what are we witnessing?
So the call to guard your vote should not be here?
If the IBC were doing a good job and have restored the trust with the Kenyans, then there's no need of even someone having an agent. Would you believe that? Once we voted, and this can be verified, and there are credible results, then there's no need of even me as a politician to have an agent within a polling station or a polling center for that matter. Why are we having, because we don't trust the results that will be given by IBC or whoever for that matter. Because we've even seen this during primaries of different political parties. So we don't trust the process. So the challenge starts with us or the institutions that are vested with the responsibility of conducting, whether it is by election, is it the primaries for any political party. So it is us, not entirely the government, to blame on this. Because if you are doing the right thing, if you're put in an institution, let me use IBC for example for now, because there are other political parties who even call IBC to conduct their primaries, then they're able to give credible results. Then there's no need of people fearing that I have to guard my vote. That is where the challenge starts. That there's trust deficit with the institution mandated to try to run the elections of this country, and so there's nothing we can do about it until they prove themselves, like we were seeing from morning and until around 2:30, that everyone was applauding what IBC had done before everything turned. What if this election became a precursor of what you are going to see in terms of IBC preparedness for any election?
Harrison, most of the time, and as we were preparing for these by-elections,
yes,
like I started by saying, that the argument has been it will be a litmus test for what will happen in 2027. And I want us to look at what exactly are we seeing here that could be a replica, or rather could replicate itself in the year 2027. Well, talking about the preparation of this particular institution, that is the IEBC. Are we likely to see the same, happen in 2027, where we start questioning whether it was actually ready to conduct an election or not? The violence that we've witnessed today, and the kind of campaign that we also witnessed, are we likely to witness the same in 2027?
I think this has been a Kenyan culture during any election, be it a by-election, be it a primary election for different political parties, or even a general election for that matter. But then we shouldn't take this really as a litmus test for IBC, quote-unquote, preparedness for general election. We've all been here and we've all acknowledged how the morning session ran very well until something happened, something went amiss. And so we should ask ourselves, between the time that the morning session where everyone, in fact, for the first time a by-election where many people came out to vote. And it was fairly organized. It was fairly orderly done. And then started by, we don't want the police officers here. And when people hear of police officers, we even saw Kenyans even telling police officers, we want to inspect. We want to inspect the police officer van, which they actually did. And even that never gave them trust enough that police officers were there to restore order. So the challenge is with us. Can we have faith in the institutions mandated with different responsibilities? Not unless these particular police officers, for example...
Is the problem with us or with the institutions?
Both. Because we don't, like in this case...
The institutions do a good job, but then we, the citizens, don't trust them.
Prof, we've all acknowledged that in the morning, everything was okay. Meaning IBC had prepared well for this election. No. Let's take that box.
No.
You said it yourself. That it was fairly a good and a very orderly, peaceful...
The observation is correct.
Yes,
but
the observation was correct.
The credit, but the credit
just
is
a
wrong.
second. You'll get your time. You'll get your time.
You can't hog all the time.
No, you'll get your time.
Because you got the opportunity.
No, it is my time, and you'll have a chance to rebuttal, right?
You can't blame Kenyans,
yes.
actually.
No, I'm not blaming Kenyans. No, I'm not blaming Kenyans. Just listen. No, just listen to what I'm saying. Of course, Kenyans have vested their trust in the different institutions, and that's why we have to let. No, we have to let the institutions do their work. But if all the time we castigate what the institutions do, really, we are not being fair. The reporter here said it was only pocket of areas where they witnessed what? They witnessed the chaos. It was not all the 141. I think it was 141.
Come out and say,
44.
we are likely to cancel the election.
They say that because of what had happened.
Without anything happening. They have no evidence. That was an expression of the internet.
How did they say that if there was not evidence? No, Kinyanjui, no, Kinyanjui. No. The behavior of the institutions, the behavior of Kenyans are wanting. The truth is, if the police officers now come in here and then we start addressing them, telling them, oh no, I want to search you, is that really fair?
I disagree with you fundamentally.
No.
The reason why we put institutions in place, the reasons why we elect government, the reason why we give government monopoly of violence, the reason why we give them police, the reason why we give them the army, is because if you let Omenya and Rachel and Harrison and Brian do things the way they want,
it will be more chaos. Yes.
So when Omenya, Rachel and Harrison are doing things the way they want, the question we should be asking is not why they're doing that. The question we should be asking is the person we gave the monopoly.
And that's why police officers were there to restore order.
No.
And when they were just doing their rounds, then the civilians, or other Kenyans or the voters, came out and saying, we don't trust you. We want to search the van. We want to search the bags. I mean, we've already told you we are here peacefully. We are here to restore order.
You trust the police officer?
Of course we have to
trust. Some of the reports indicate that.
What are the ingredients for a good life? It starts with your wellness. Having partners who
in uniform, the ones who were actually in the vehicle, they were searched. Even their vehicle was searched.
Okay, so
these are the ones
could the ones that were not? Could the ones that
that is wrong? Absolutely wrong.
Could the ones
that is intimidation.
And loading tear gas and wearing balaclavas.
Rachel, could the ones who are wearing balaclavas and in plain clothes actually have intensified the mistrust that you're talking about?
No, they're creating trust, according to Rachel.
Listen, Professor.
They're creating trust in the public.
No, I say, we were talking about IBC and the different institutions mandated to do different things. Okay. And we started by IBC.
Right.
If the police officers, whether in plain clothes or otherwise, start causing chaos by intimidating or throwing tear gases to disperse members, of the public, that is absolutely wrong, especially if it is within the polling station.
Right.
That is absolutely wrong. We are calling wrong as it is.
Yes.
But we cannot come here and start saying that the people who are searching police officers, that was their right, because you are doubting what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. And actually, if you are keenly watching what was happening at Kalou, all these things started with that one van. That one van, which they said, let us check what you're carrying, we want to search the vehicle, blah, blah, blah. Before they realized it, everyone now, every other places, they are now chaos. Because why? The police officers who are doing their role, by doing their patrol, were now a suspect. of voter bribery, are now suspects of voter stuffing. They were now suspects, and they were saying those things.
Okay.
So we should have listened to them and where this whole thing started before we now start calling IBC.
Are you saying why
wrong.
you were wrong to be suspicious of the police?
Not suspicious, to search the police. And why would you
Was it
Yes.
was
They
it
can't
a-
explain the
why
police.
didn't
The
they
police
just
are
arrest it as
was it
that?
a legitimate concern for the people of All Kalou to have mistrust and of course try to make sure that everything actually, the way maybe the political class did call on them, that make sure we actually get to gather our vote and make sure that we actually have a free and fair election. Was it a mistake on their part?
Before I answer that question, could you permit me to answer it? The presence of the arbiter Trump. Are you an agent of the state? Are you defending the state? Are you defending the shenanigans of what we saw in All Kalou? Are you trying to justify the IEBC's failures? And are you gaslighting the Kenyan people for demanding the accountability, the rendering of what the responsibility of these institutions are, specifically the IEBC? You may not have the chance to answer that.
No. If he's an officer, then he should listen to me and arbitrate.
Yeah, you will answer.
My response.
As we go along, you will answer. But as you don't archive that. There is at the back of your mind.
I've debated the Harrison for a long time, and he picks issues like that.
No.
I said it, and I've repeated myself and Prof.
I do not want to
Are
be
you
a
trying to tell us? No.
I'm all for
Oh,
it.
you're okay. Have your time.
Now, but let me
Have your
just
time.
disabuse some
Right.
notions that she has tried to, I don't want to say peddle, but, put forward. Number one, you have said, with tremendous respect to you, Rachel, that you do not require, you do not need agents. If you trust the institution of the IEBC, why should you have agents in the polling station? It is a function of the Constitution's imperative to have a transparent, verifiable, accountable outcome of an election. Now, you as a candidate, you as a political party, require your eyes, quote unquote, your eyes,
Right.
at the polling station, because you should see the tallying, you should see the counting, and you should know the outcome. So therefore, the law, if you look at the Elections Act in Section 2, it defines an agent as your representative, who are supposed to be a minimum of 2, a maximum of 2, a tallying agent and a counting agent, so that you two can corroborate. Now that becomes fundamental in the end if you want to dispute the electoral outcome, and you would like to go to court, so that then your tallying agent or your counting agent,
Right.
you can corroborate. You can say this is what we saw from the political party known as A, B, or C, or D. And therefore, it is fundamental to disabuse the Kenyan people of the notion that you do not need an agent in any election. You do require, and if you remember, in the 2017 election, the issue came along that there were agents that were lacking of the ODM on the ground, which replicated itself in the 2022 election, that there were missing agents. Now, it means that you do not have your eyes there to verify the ballots and to know if the ballots were counted as according to the law. Now, having said that, it is wrong, in my humble view, to gaslight the Kenyan people and say, well, we are all to blame. I'm not a blame. I'm not a blame for the IEBCs. You know what? No. Let me tell the Kenyan people. The Kenyan people. Now,
listen to this.
Absolutely. No, Rachel.
Finish.
This is a horse that I'm driving.
Half of
Yeah, please.
Now,
I'll get my time.
the ballot boxes, according to the Elections Act, are supposed to be transparent, not translucent.
Okay.
Transparent, meaning that you can see through, just like this glass. What do we have? Translucent ballot boxes. Another precaution that the Elections Act and the regulations give each one of these candidates is the right to place a seal. Because you ask, the question, and she said that, it's just an issue of verifying and, guarding the vote that came about, Each one of these political parties, and I haven't seen them exercise that right, you have the right to place your seal in the presence of the IEBC officials on that particular ballot box in the presence of everybody else. So your seal can have certain color or the way you design it, the way you like. So that when it comes to now tallying the counting of those votes, it is you, together with the IEBC and every other political party, that is breaking that seal. That protects you from this idea that some ballot boxes are being put in a hearse in Gilgil, and that they are being transported to the tallying centers, and they're waiting for nightfall, and then they will swap. That is a precaution that is in the law. So to answer her, the issue of agents, the issue of guarding the votes is entrenched in the law. And it's only that it is not exercised fully that then we have these sort of scenarios erupting. Now the IEBC, in my humble view, is having all these vultures that are politically invested in the whole process. You find that a government official is out there in the name of development, in the name of trying to advance this or the other about the issuance of certificates of title and so on. Why now? Why didn't you do it 3 months ago? How come you never did it like a year ago? What about these boats that you are sending to Old Kalou now at this stage? Why didn't you do it before? Suddenly you have had your eyes open. The people of Old Kalou only. When talking about in a constituency in Nyandaro, Kenyan people, you be aware of this. Now, when you look at Section 6, paragraph I of the Electoral Code of Conduct, it prohibits that exact conduct. That type of conduct, if you engage in it, it amounts to a state officer abusing their office to breach that code of conduct, and they can actually be held to be guilty of an offense. Are they? But you have what Prof said. That someone from the IEBC, shamelessly, and without any inhibition, comes and tells us, that is not a criminal offense. Come on, Kenyan people, that is not a street thing. It cannot be an offense.
So what happens then if at all we have abused the law this much?
Yeah, so let me come now.
Yes.
So
Download Glovo, order food, groceries, or anything you want and track it until it arrives in minutes.
Where we know that this is the gold standard, this is the mark, the benchmark. These are the guardrails that we have, legally speaking. Someone is stepping outside of this, you call that an offense. Take for instance, does the IEBC have the same videos that Rachel is referencing or access?
Correct.
They should be having that sort of thing accessible to them in furtherance of their constitutional and statutory mandate. They cannot say, oh, you have to. I heard some EACC official says, oh, you know about that sort of thing. It hasn't come to our attention. Come on, you don't live in Mars. You live in this country, and you know, and you ought to have it in furtherance of your mandate. We do know that you have an investigative sort of, department. So when someone complains about it, you are supposed to act on that. Of course, we're not telling you to go out fishing for that evidence. You need to know this is happening in this country. Now, the IEBC is supposed to ensure for the Kenyan people a political climate where there is tolerance. That, again, is in the Electoral Code of Conduct. When you have political intolerance exhibiting itself in the manner in which that Prof was saying, who is a bearer, who is the custodian of tear gas? It is a state. It is not we, the Kenyan people. It is not the elector who is in Old Kalou. And when they see that a police vehicle with transparent windows, Prof, with transparent?
No.
No. It's a fake.
Yeah.
So you have your antenna going on, and you think that wait. From what happened in Barren North, I don't trust this. Let us investigate and see what is actually inside there. And then you start hearing rumors swirling around, that in Gilgil, there is a ballot stuffing station there. And they're using police, vans. And this is probably one of them. So they want to do that. And according to Rachel, that acted as a trigger. You had all these sort of chaos. But what is supposed to happen? The police officers are supposed to be uniformed.
Correct.
And only 2 police officers, according to the elections general regulations of 2012 as amended, only 2 are supposed to be in every polling station. So in having these hundreds, should I say there were 1,000 or thereabout?
Yes.
Hundreds. So hundreds of police officers in all Kalou constituency. In my humble view, the NPS, National Police Service, is engaging together with the political actors of the day in now an act which would be classified as intimidatory of the electorate.
Correct.
And this is illegal. This again goes to a violation of the Electoral Code of Conduct. Did we hear any whimper, anything from the IEBC? Oh, wait a minute, NPS. you as the IEBC, why are you assigning these 1,000 police officers to all Kalou? And if we project these forward, are you able to assign 1,000 officers to every constituency in this country going forward? Is that what you're saying? Is this your benchmark?
Okay. Right.
So we have a problem in this country where an institution that is supposed to be independent, such as the IEBC, forget about the acronym, the IEBC, whatever it is, you know, that's just a name. And I would say this, as I wind up on that point. The IEBC, as we see it conduct the Malaba constituency, where there was extreme violence, the Mbere North, the Kasipul Kabondo, the Kasipul, in fact, there was a death.
Yes.
Someone died.
Yeah.
In now Kalou, what we are seeing, this breach of the peace, it is regulated under the Electoral Code of Conduct. It is also regulated under the Penal Code, and the unleashing of the goons is also punishable under the Penal Code. Prof said here, we are tired of these CS for Interior saying, we will investigate. Now, I would ask him to refresh, with tremendous respect to him, Honorable Murkamen, I would ask him to refresh his knowledge of the Penal Code. And I would reference him. May I send you to him? May I request that you reach him? But we have Rachel here. I forgot. Rachel, please, may I venture? If she can reach these to him. Now, Rachel, you need to tell me to have a look at it. You write it down. You write it down. Section 78 of the Penal Code has read with Section 79. If you catch one goon, then he's able to provide you with the evidence.
Right.
And then you then forward these to the ODPP, the police, of course, who do the investigation. And the ODPP, they should do their job. Section 79 says that this goon should be sentenced to 2 years in jail. Now, could you relay that message so that we do the investigation should this we do not have a legal framework. We do have a legal framework.
Is that
an admission that you are a native state?
Let me try to.
Prof is the arbiter.
You know, you're already on a national television. So
before I come to you, let me give an opportunity to respond.
CS is listening, so I want to believe the message has reached him.
Also, the message is through the platform, not through you.
I mean, we're on a national television.
She's trying to deflect.
I'm not deflecting. No, I'm not disassociating because first I want you to know that it is really unfair to purport that this might happen. Quite a number of goons were arrested, even the other. Some of them already admitting and even saying who sent them. So I want to believe, let's give the police their work, their due time. Once they've apprehended them, then now we can come back and sit here and say, the goons, we all saw them on TV, nothing happened. But they already never.
That's what you're saying. We've been seeing them on TV. I mean, this didn't start with that.
So much has happened with really to that regard.
Another allegation has been that police have been seen escorting some of these goons and working hand in hand with them. So to some extent, how do you expect them to actually...
Surely you can deny that, Rachel.
Where that
and the goons, in which
just
country?
listen to my response.
And how many?
we are all human beings. And if the goons outnumber us, even here where we are, the least I can do is just to escort you.
Also,
no. We are 2 versus 100 goons.
You have a gun.
Yeah, so am I just supposed to start shooting around because we are 2 and we are armed? So what are you expecting me to do? We saw what happened in 2024 when some people decide, some police officers decided, okay, fine, because I'm armed, let me try and defend myself. Rachel, we saw what happened to them.
What you're saying is because...
So it is only... I gave you... You are an arbiter. So I gave Kinyanjui time. It's my time to respond to him. Kinyanjui, this is to you.
The goons police should be escorting them.
No, I didn't say police should be escorting them. But when they outnumber the police officers...
The police should escort them.
Not escort them. You have to engage with the goons. You have to talk to them. You have to know what is the best way forward, or what do I?
But
engage. Yes,
a minute.
Why not?
Engage. Just a minute.
Why not? What's wrong with engaging?
Did you just say that?
No, stop talking with both sides of your tongue. You are the same one who's just said here that you want to know who sent or financials of these goons.
No,
how will you know if you don't engage them?
That's an investigation.
How are you going to know if you don't get them? So allow the same police officers to engage them. How are you going to investigate if you don't engage them? How do you intend to...
All right, I get your point. I get your point. Let me get this. Just some clarification on that. Just some clarification on that. We've had the state say, by the way.
GoDaddy has the perfect hosting plan for any website. From low-cost share.
Exactly.
We saw, we saw Inspector of Police the other day, Inspector General of Police, during on 25th of July, I think when they were doing their celebration, engaging a similar group of people who had come out to protest. Some were armed, some were not. He engaged them into an amicable solution, and they all agreed, no, we are going to protest, yes, but we are going to do it peacefully.
It's not goons protesting. Goons are beating up people and killing them. Do you remember Mungiki and the late Michuki and what was done to them?
So are we supposed to now go shoot and kill kind of order? Is that what we want in this country? Because that is what Mungiki what was his name?
Let me tell you.
The minister then.
The government of Kenya. The government of Kenya has monopoly of violence.
So are we supposed to now shoot people because the government has monopoly?
I think you didn't hear me when I said go and communicate. Section 78 and 79. Those are the legal instruments by means of which to know exactly what it is. No, it's not okay to just...
It is okay.
What you're saying is that the police are helpless, the government of Kenya is helpless. You know,
in
when it comes
many
to
cases, even our people who are sent to whatever countries to cause peace, create peace and all that kind of stuff, you have to engage. There are certain times you just do not shoot or engage your
Nobody said goons should be shot.
But you're the one who just said it.
But
your leader
says that the mechanism should be goons. Has been budgeted with the
No, I'm not I'm not here to gaslight you. We have a responsibility and a duty as citizens of this country during the election. IBC does have a duty and a role to do. So are the police, each and every one of us. So if we are to take our responsibility as it's enshrined in that very same constitution and the act that is referencing, we will bring the peace. If we did that.
What is the role of the citizen in the Election Act?
One, you're supposed to go there, identify yourself, go and verify. Once you're verified, you're supposed to vote. Once you've voted, you're supposed to move away from that election place. That is your simple responsibility. Yes. So when you come back here and you're in your hundreds, and when the police come back to create peace and order within that police station and you want to blame them, no. That is wrong. We are not being good citizens of this country.
According to you, there's a place that's written in that act.
No, just tell me, am I wrong? What is this other responsibility?
What is this responsibility?
No. Immediately
after I vote. Immediately after I vote. Is there a law that says that I go home?
No, there's no law that tells you that.
The
law is very clear. You're supposed to know.
I'm meant to vacate the station.
After you voted.
Where I go is my interest.
It is written clearly. After you voted, you're supposed to move at least 100 meters.
400.
400. If you're making it further.
Wherever it is I'm going, whatever it is I'm doing.
So you don't expect that. Secondly, and most importantly,
look at those guys dancing there. They're meant to be arrested.
No.
Because they're not at home.
No, but they're not in the police station either. So that's okay. They can chant, they can dance and all that. Secondly, it is not mandatory. And it is not illegal not to have an agent.
It is not mandatory.
So why are you making it appear like...
It is the law.
No, it is not mandatory. And that's why I put a disclaimer that in the event that you don't have an agent, then the IBC is supposed to conduct an election in a transparent manner. It has to be accountable to the results that they give, and most importantly, just be credible, because it means this to change. And if they do not do that, that's why he was talking about, the other election, people are saying that Baba did not have agents, but I don't remember any election which was nullified.
No. Give me some more time.
No. I don't remember any election that has been nullified just because Rachel did not have an agent. So,
I get you.
No, I want you to put those two clarifications. No.
All right, okay. He did ask whether you are gaslighting. So you had the right to respond and say you are gaslighting. Let me get that. If you say this, so she has retracted that. Let me come to proof.
Now, still building on what Rachel was saying, that this is not a test for IBC. I wonder what it is then. But anyway, for me, I think this is a test for IBC, and focusing just on a couple of things. Again, what constitutes electoral offences and electoral misconduct. These things that we're talking about. Voter intimidation is one of those. This is the Electoral Offences Act. Did we see voter intimidation at all? I'll put them as questions so that Rachel doesn't say that I said voter intimidation. Bribery is an offense. Did we see evidence of bribery in there? Misuse of public resources is actually an offense. Did we see development there? As far as IBC is concerned. Then we're talking about the code of conduct again that Addison has highlighted to us. Violence is actually an offense as far as the code is concerned. Did we see behavior that can be categorized as violence? Intimidation of voters, weapons, actually carrying of weapons is an offense. Did we see any of those things? Again, voter bribery and again misuse of public resources. From where I sit, because I pay my taxes quite dutifully, so I'm normally quite keen to see how these taxes are used. If anybody can come here and tell me that they don't really think anything bad happened in Kalou, and IBC did an excellent job, assessing from their stuff, I would think that either the person are the guys who are actually collecting the bribe money and keeping it under their beds so that they can actually use them in these elections as force. Really, or the person doesn't have a proper functioning brain. Because I see these things and I'm like, we saw them guys in balaclavas, wielding weapons and so on. We saw people being beaten and naked, and what we told us, and we didn't see we didn't see anything that can be an electoral offense. In fact, what we saw was IBC, doing an excellent job. Really? No. I think these are parallel universes. For me, what I've seen in Kalou must not be anywhere near a standard of an acceptable election, honestly. Yes, of course, there are other questions and other details as to the outcome. But, just those very basic things. Is that an environment where my 18-year-old, I have an 18-year-old daughter, can actually go and cast the vote? The answer is no. That is intimidation. Is that what we are actually going for in terms of the quality of a democracy? The answer is no. And I'm just focusing on IBC as one institution. And Kenyans, I don't know what's wrong with us, honestly. I really don't know what's wrong with us. Just a few years ago, we would make noises. If public resources were being used in questionable manner. And now they're being used overtly and openly in an election. And we don't think there's an issue. Really. The reason why you should be right exactly. I'm about saying, for me, this is the test, sir. You see, from a scientific point of view, when you're planning for a big sample, which is, you see, for us, the national election is the 100% sample. So these other smaller elections are, you can look at them as pilots. So the very good spot to test everything, to test the law, to test the pictures and so on. Because it's like a controlled, environment. It's difficult to test that nationally, when everybody is doing things and so on. We may not even have the capacity, as the lawyers would say, we may not be able to even get the quality of evidence that can actually fly in a court of law. But when it's one simple concentrated thing, I'm telling you, you can even monitor the card using satellites and things like that. You can construct the evidence and say, look here, these are the standards, these are things that must be done. So, as far as I'm concerned, this by-election is actually a test for IBC. And IBC has failed miserably, really.
In this particular test?
Yes. So that they better work very hard, because if they continue working like this, then they'll be responsible for the disaster that'll be happening next year.
Do they have room for redemption before 2027?
You see, again for me, you actually start solving a problem by actually accepting the result. That's the starting point. You look at this government, and you're making noises about how the development is done and so on, how campaigns are done now, how state resources are being used. They don't see a problem. So how will they solve it? We see police escorting goons and so on, and we don't really think that's a problem. We see police intimidating, actually, very, very, innocent members of the public. We don't see that as a problem. We're not getting any of these characters prosecuted and so on. We don't see that as a problem. We're seeing these very direct electoral offences and so on. IBC, yes, of course, there's sort of recognition at some point, but not at the level that we actually want. It's not at the level where you're saying IBC has actually seen this and they're moving forward with it. And that's partly why I was quoting the commission. Because it starts from there. Even if you're helpless in solving this, it's important that ministers like Mukomen who come and say, okay, whatever we've seen in Kalou is not acceptable. That, yeah. It's no longer a problem. Corruption is no longer a problem. The words of money that we're seeing outside there, nobody is asking where did this money come from. And this is the mediocrity that Rachel here expects us to accept as Kenyans. Okay? Never.
Allow me to pick up on that point.
Yeah.
With respect. Prof, that's a very fundamental aspect. Not too long ago, just about several weeks ago, there was some very issue of a congressman, Thomas Massey, in the state of Kentucky, who was very popular on the ground. But the highest amount of money used in that election defied all the standards that even these residents, the citizens of Kentucky, the U.S., started singing wait a minute, we are seeing an external hand here. And the external hand, when the questions were raised enough, it turned out to be a lobby called APOC.
Right.
APOC is a Zionist organization because Thomas Massey was viewed and seen to be advancing an agenda which was quote-unquote conservative. And although he's a Republican of the ideology, he was very emphatic. Let's question and if they actually meet the question of leadership. And if in fact they have not been what essentially. So for Thomas Massey, because he was removing the carpet of control and of manipulation by the Zionists in the US and another population, he then had to be blocked by all means necessary from the ascendancy again, re-election into being a congressman in Kentucky. So when you inquire after the source of the money that has been splashed in all and you hear some moments, some money came from wherever who is supposed to inquire about and in order to meet the legitimate expectations of not only the local outfit, but also we the kingdom, because we're heading into a general. Now when you have these mountains splashing in the figures that we hear banded around, 10 billion past, and we have seen, we have asked the question, when the corruption seems becoming corrupt, did we have a repeal of the EACC Act? Did we have a repeal of the entire Did we have a repeal of Article 79 of the Constitution that vests these investigative powers in the EACC for corruption, a breach of the Leadership and Integrity Act? Those are pertinent questions that the common person, the citizen, which is why I was saying that I have never thrust a jab at her. Only because I have.
A good episode,
Absolutely.
Love your show.
But we must face things objectively. As the Kenyan, as all Kenyans, because the Kenyan, this is going to answer what has happened with Kenya. You get to a level, not of indifference, but of saying that, okay, I have seen what I have seen, my country has sunk, because they in power, they in positions of authority, are failing in their responsibility, not punishing these criminal acts, they're not punishing this corruption. What can I do? Me as an individual, I am seeing it. And then, worse, you see that the very perpetrators of this criminal act, especially this corruption, they are out there mocking you with the flashing of all these opulence, display of opulence, that they have these big vehicles. Like you saw, and Rachel can bear me out, because the Brahma is speaking for the people. Like you saw, they who are perched on, four-wheel vehicles, out there, armed with, I don't know if they are bazookas or, AR-15, very, powerful. I don't know. But you ask yourself, how is it that the average person can gain access to that money? So the corruption of the election, or the election, and we heard this in 2017 election, Supreme Court presidential election. We heard this again in the 2017 presidential election. Again, it was repeated in 2022 presidential election contest at the Supreme Court. That the electoral process is not just an event. It's not a one-day event. It is what cumulatively then leads up to the appointment of that particular person, the ascendancy to the state office. So, because is the IEBC able to redeem itself? The answer is yes and no. And it seems like a paradox. Yes means to me, yes or no. The yes is, if the IEBC quote-unquote came to itself and realized that we owe a fiduciary duty, we owe a responsibility, based on having invested in us, responsibility and power and the Constitution. We, exclusive, all the Kenyan people, we are the occupants of these offices. We should live up to their expectations. We will face not only the wrath of the Kenyan people, but also the wrath of God if we do not live up to the expectations that has been placed on us. So if they woke up to the present state, I don't want to say of hexing, and I'll bind that with the political hexing that is there in terms of control, which will bring it to the north. If they woke up to that and they said, look, Regulation 61, sub-regulation 4A, for instance, of the elections general regulations, mandates the IEBC 3 months before holding an election, if it is going to engage in electronic voting, to then through the Kenya Gazette and the media, including your own self, electronic, it says even the publications, to inform the people the conduct of that election using the electronic format and what the regulations will be. It didn't do that. It ought then to engage the Kenyan people in education, the voter education. So it has something to do with them in terms of that. Telling the Kenyan people, when you go to vote, you should have your original ID card or your passport. You should do A, B, and C. Do not emblazon, do not wear anything about your political party. Do not go out there and shout and slandering about your party. Don't do that. They could do that if you got along. But, this is why I say no. I do not think that they have the capacity to do themselves. Hovering over their ideas is the political class. The political class, I mean by the Kenya Kwanza government. The Kenya Kwanza government is deeply entrenched, deeply focused on entrenching itself in power. Now, they have not absorbed, they have not taken over the idea that the Kenyan people have every right to exercise their constitutional mandate to serve. And you have a 5-year term, which is guaranteed upon your ascendancy in power, being sworn into office. If you be an MC, if you be a member of National Assembly, Senate, or a governor, or in this case the president, including the government, you have a 5-year term. Now, there is no guarantee that is entrenched, either in the Constitution or in the elections, for you to have a 10-year term. The IEBC and the entire electoral process to try and have a grip on power that is outside the scope of the law, and which would be, in my view, the denial of the Kenyan people of that right to say that I'm giving you your 5 years, I do not interrupt your 5-year period, I let you play out your term, and I'm going to promise you that I'm going to re-elect you. So I think that's very fundamental. To those who are reasonable to accept there is a possibility, a very high likelihood of the Kenyan people saying one term. Now, so the no now comes in, the IEBC, regardless of the adventuring, say that we will exercise our constitutional mandate, we will go ahead and do what we're supposed to do by law, and then someone behind there says, oh, you have to entrench. Now, there's no way that I can talk about my go. In this way, the team has been so sweet for me. Now, look, I know that some of these men just, some of it to you like a bird, you know? Yeah. So therefore, just accept it. Just accept that. Close your eyes. Just be blind to these sort of things. You know, these goons, you know, and the goons are necessary for me to just instill fear into my opponent. And then you have to close your eyes to every shenanigans that I engage to, including taking boats to hold Kalou. You really have to do it for me. That is a chapter IEBC that you can just get into. And in my humble view, the moment all of these commissions are somehow compromised, in terms of their integrity, in terms of probably their work or whatever it is, probably more to be sensitive, their personal life or whatever it is, so that then this can be used as a bait. Now, I've gone around several times to Thomas Best. That's exactly what he said. That's what he said about the Zionists who have been using all these data. Jeffrey. Now look, I'm not going to allow you to do it. So Thomas Massey says, I'm not in it, and we need our evidence on top of the table. So then the electoral body in Kentucky then just closed its eyes to all the corruption in terms of the money being splashed in Kentucky. Right. And Thomas Massey did. These are IEBC in the shield and guard itself from this sort of intrusion. And given that someone is willing to really freely say that I have a 5-term guarantee that Rachel, could you communicate that?
I hope that the president is listening. Advice on some of these things.
Does he listen?
He does listen.
He does listen. But he gets vindictive. Very vindictive.
I think that's your perception. I don't think if majority of Kenyans feel that way, that's the way you're feeling. Allow me to say this, Brad. One, Prof spoke about and enumerated quite a number of illegalities and what happens around that area and what IBC should do. Intimidation, bribery, and the like. But I think what IBC needs to do, I came here not as a politician, as a professional, and if Kinanju thinks I'm here on behalf in brief of the government, then it means I'm saying the truth because I didn't come as a politician. But then what we are seeing with the IBC is lack of confidence with Kenyans. Kenyans have totally. Because if you even look at, they were talking about, can they communicate with Kenyans? You gave an example of you expected by now CS Murkomen coming out to just call out on some of the things that are happening within Kalou. IBC did do a letter, right? They did some statement and telling people how they should manage this whole situation. So I think we give credit to you. If you're asking, you're a policy person, I'm a policy person. So if this is what we want and that is what the institution is doing, then we should actually applaud what they're doing. Loud what they're doing if it is right. If it is wrong, we call it out. And so IBC had communicated earlier on, I don't know whether you're aware, about what is happening at Kalou. Yes. And that is what we are saying here. Can you frequently communicate with people? Are you okay with what is happening? Are you not okay with what is happening? Then what are you doing if you're not okay with what is happening? And I think that's why I think a bit of peace was restored, because in the evening we have seen a bit of issues in the place called AC. I think it was called AC School, AC Primary, something like that. So I don't want us to have a feeling like IBC has totally lost it.
Not really, I mean...
yes, because that is
when
the
you fail, it doesn't mean that you got a
painted.
zero.
Yes.
It means you have 20%.
Exactly.
So
sometimes when someone has gotten it right, you tell them up to this point you're okay. So this and this and these measures are what you need to relook into. So when
how would you assess estimation? How would you assess progression on that front? Because Clark has put it at 20%, which he has said is wholly unacceptable. How would
you fail?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I mean, I can't put it at 20%.
They haven't failed totally. They've got 20%. 65.
Yes, 65.
That's too generous. 65.
No, that is not too generous. If you held an election from 6 in the morning to 3, we are assessing. In fact, now we are in the competency-based curriculum, where we are looking at the progress as it comes along. So you started.
We look at IBC through the entire process. Not just on the day. Yes.
We are looking at IBC
in his entirety.
This particular by-election.
Yes.
Yeah, but Rachel,
this
is a process. You take it up from
one point. Have your time.
No. I want you to merge the issue. I want you to merge this issue.
Right.
Now, the IBC comes and tells us, the old Kalou people, we are likely to go. Now, that does actually discourage people. How would you do that? Because people are saying that before the ante period ends now, the action and the post-call. And remember, the IBC is supposed to produce a report at the end of the Yes. So now, the prof is saying, are you going to shock me?
Yes, I'm going to shock you. If you were to play my interview on Thursday with K for TV47, I said the same thing, that if you continue witnessing what you are seeing on Kalou, then IBC better consult. And you can play it if you can pick it. when I was being interviewed on K47. So when I'm here telling you, if someone has done well, just call it out as it is.
What well have you done?
Don't paint it wrong. We all started here when we all in our preliminary.
Let us take a look at that. Was Thursday that you said that?
Yes, that was. I think it was the same Thursday. Then later on in the afternoon, they said if this continues, then they're going to call off flat.
Did you see a continuation of the same?
If they did call it off, it means things change. I'm not going to say. If they did call it off, it means things change. And then they felt that it's okay now. They can hold the election.
They try IBC. Yes. You're simple as that. You're saying, if IBC tells me this, then it has to be true. The infallibility of IBC.
So if in the morning, let's start with the basics. We all agreed here. The morning session was fairly okay in terms of it was peaceful.
The cameras, yes.
We all agree until around 1. If we want to assess IBC, and we all agree when we started that IBC started off well, we wish they continued that way.
You know,
so if a student, you are
looking at different subjects.
Not different subjects.
You are assessing today.
Today.
You are assessing IBC performance today.
Yes, today.
And I was assessing IBC performance in all Kalou by-election. Which is not start today.
Or the Kalou by-election.
That's
why we are looking at what they've done.
The mobilization of the police.
So far, if I want to go with what the reporter who is on the wherever, I told Kalou, I said, he said everything so far has been good and appreciates what IBC has put forth. He is there. We are here watching something and thinking this could be the position. And that is someone who is witnessing firsthand and telling you so far so good with IBC.
You see, eventually,
why are we here advocating IBC whereas
Rachel, I'd like to go back to what you looked at initially before you said if we continue this particular trajectory, then it should be called off.
Oh, absolutely.
Meaning the situation was bad from the onset.
We saw what many, and I'd put a disclaimer, and we saw many people feeling that the politics of development that the government was pushing was not right. And I said on that same day that it is a matter of the timing of the development. All Kalou people are the same as Bondo people, Rarieda, Marsabit. We all need development from government.
You curiously have exactly the same position as Andrit.
Just listen, I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. Yeah. And if we had the same thought process, I don't think you would have been called here, right? We are called here because we are very independent. And we have different views. Yes. So we are here because this is how I view it, this is how I see it, and my voice must just be heard, unfortunately.
Yes.
Whether I look at it the same as Commissioner Deritu or the CEO,
so government in plan,
or like him, like the Misuki.
Allow Rachel to prosecute her point.
On a serious note, we don't want to block or allow people from doing it. But this is a question. How does government do development? Really? I mean, we are in some space. These things are budgeted. They are planned. They are in deep, whether in the social services area, whether it's infrastructure and so on. Tell me, which plan is this one? Of course, the power ones, we can look at in power. But which plan is this one to give gas cylinders to the people of all Kalou? To give government-branded mattresses to the people of all Kalou? Of course, to give cash also to those people of all Kalou. So it is in which voted, so which budget, which ministry. Okay. And then who are doing it on behalf of government. As our government becomes so inept that it was actually UDA politicians, doing that on behalf of government.
Whom did you want to do that? It is the government officials and the CSS are the government officials. He was an advisor to the government.
He was.
Yes. So if he appears where gas cylinders are being distributed, we will block him. Probably wanted a gas cylinder.
Those gas cylinders.
Let us say Moses players there for Gusty leader.
No, just a second. It was my time, though. It was my time. I'm answering all your questions. And you branded me as a government spokesperson, and I'm taking it right on. Yes.
I'm on the phone. But
yes.
now, you know, Prof is asking.
Yes.
And the Kenyan people are very concerned. And you've heard, you know, people making jest of it. You know, now I also would like to go to all Kalou so that I can get his free gas. So that I can get all
even some are even saying they can even kill the MPs, or they would wish the MPs die so that they have a by-election.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
So as I
like me
to be distributing cylinders.
You see,
all right, okay, so now
you have a selective way of picking what I say.
No,
just listen.
Let me tell you the point. Okay. And the point is this now, right? Did that happen in Emuru or Dakir? Did that happen?
Not.
So this development is
that's what I say.
So
the issue of this development could have been the timing, because if you look at an issue of the university, it didn't start with the by-election. If you look at the issue of affordable housing, that started, I think, in September 2024.
We are not pointing at any of those things.
No, just listen.
We are not.
These are the same development.
We are talking about misuse of public resources.
We are looking at
what you're talking about is very different.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are looking at this development.
The national government.
The issue is the timing. So do you believe it was intentional with the timing itself, that this was actually to woo voters to the side of the UDA candidate by the government?
That's why I say the problem could have been the timing.
Is it a problem?
Of course.
Why is it a problem?
Why is the problem is this? Because Kenyans are looking at it.
It's a problem because it's misuse of public resources. Yes. Proceed.
So how is it misuse when you deliver boats which are going to help the people of Kalou?
Now,
listen, I'm responding.
Yes.
How is it misuse of resources when you go there and put
it is because there's a law in terms of how my taxes are to be used.
So all Kalou people, they don't pay tax?
In fact, that's what we are saying. There is nowhere.
And they are entitled to receive development in equal measure. And to the same people who are talking about equality.
There is nowhere in the government programs, in the budgets, where
how do you know?
I know because I look at
produce the budget.
Okay.
Where all Kalou people should not receive development.
We didn't say they should not receive.
So why do you have a problem with them receiving the problem, and you turned it out as government misusing? Now you see, it was misuse of government or whatever, taxpayers' money.
You want to convince Kenyans that we had a budget for cylinders that was to be
reduced in that we have.
There's nothing like that.
Okay. Rachel, do you agree with how the campaign was conducted? Was it fair ground in terms of how the campaign was conducted?
I would say maybe yes, maybe not. And I'll qualify both.
You give them 70%.
No, I gave 65. I gave 65. So if you want to give 70, it's even better. Yeah. So one, we can't say that the DCP people never distributed nothing, or they never gave anything to the voters.
We're not agreeing with that. It's not about DCP.
Oh, I don't pay taxes to DCP. Allow this woman to talk.
Woman talk.
Kenley.
I'm the one who has questions, and I'm the one responding to those questions. Allow me to respond. We had agreed that there's no monopoly of knowledge here. So we are responding as for what we understand and what we know. So one, it's not like the government alone distributed maybe items to people.
But they misused our resources. Continue.
That bit of misuse of resources. That bit of misuse of resources, that one I don't know. Because one thing I know, all Kalou people are Kenyans, and they are deserving of any development like any other part of this country. Let's put that. So if they received anything, you're going almost telling me the same project that the government is doing in Bond or in Imbo, the bridge, which has taken God knows since Jesus was born, is being constructed today. That is also misuse of resources.
We are coming to that. We are coming to that very soon.
Because we hope that we will vote in the president because of the development. We are deserving of those developments like any other region.
We are coming to that.
So the people are deserving of the development. So DCP people, they've also spent a lot of money in campaigning. I don't think if that was bribery. I don't think so. If that does not border on bribery, neither should development be perceived as voter bribery.
No.
Yes.
The other one is misuse of public resources. This other one is bribery. They are two totally different kinds.
Okay. So the government, when they deliver development in all The university,
if DCP,
you have a problem with the university at all, Kalou? Do you have a problem? No. Do you have a problem with the hospital?
What I was saying, was that...
Do you have a problem with the train station?
We know Kalou is part of this country.
Why are you saying that it's misuse of resources?
I'm not saying that. You're actually not understanding me. All I'm saying is that yes, like any other part of Kenya, there is development plan for Kalou. We have no problem with that. But that development plan for Kalou, my dear, is not mattresses and is not cash to Kalou people, and no gas cylinders. It is not
during that period. Because we see on Kalou people return all the mattresses. If they return, then it was of no use. That is not misuse of resources. We do not see on Kalou people return the gas cylinders.
Our problem was the resources.
Yeah. What sort of precedent did the government set, especially with the distribution of mattresses and gas cylinders to residents of Kalou? Because then the residents of Rwanda, like you put it,
we also need mattresses.
I'll give you. You see, we are
Don't avoid that question.
I'm responding.
The gas cylinders, which
yes,
will be distributing gas
cylinders.
The
this is the first time we're seeing the government distributing gas cylinders. Am I lying?
But let me tell you.
We did that in Taita Taveta.
Choose L'Oreal Paris to create sunspot
the time that Arambes were acting.
Yes.
Why? Why was that so?
Now it is actually under the leadership and integrity.
Exactly.
Now we are back. We are back.
Were these Arabs?
No, just listen. We are back to a situation where we're seeing public officials, we're seeing ministers going out to, I don't know, do what, women empowerment, and they're dishing money. We see them on this campaign trail, we're calling it development, they're dishing money. And we see, and all this had to do with, equitable and accountable use of public resources. Because we know these people don't use their individual resources. We know that for a fact. We are national TV. We know that these people actually steal our resources, and that's why they're able to throw them away there. We have seen a situation where the other one, Kasa, where they suspected that there was an official who had some cash below his bed. They went and arrested the person. Meanwhile, you have these guys from government moving with wads of money, running into millions, and Kasa doesn't think it's an issue. What we're talking about here is a bigger challenge of governance, starting with your president, right at the top. Yeah, and complete the ministers, complete with all these other guys who are eating around the table, and what you're seeing, the misbehavior we are seeing in Kalou is a microcosm of what's wrong in this country now, of what's happening in this country, where the president or the politician is that what our politician envies? That a politician that will develop because of the largesse of the president, because of the gratefulness, and the sympathy of a politician. If that is where we are, we were saying, look here, the people of Kalou deserve also to eat. And who's giving this eating? The president, not parliament, not budgets, and so on. So that was my first point, Brian. My second point is, in many instances, all these things that we are saying are pointing to government. In what situations do governments of the day create these types of environments that are unsuitable, actually, for democracy and democratic processes and so on? So again, Rachel and the president and the people must think twice. What are they so scared of? In fact, for me, normally, it's when a government is losing legitimacy, whether it is in Sierra Leone, whether it is in Haiti, that is when now government operates together with goons. When you're governing properly, there is no problem. You know that you've dabbled in the political space, you know that when incumbents do a good job, they never really need to steal elections, they never really need to employ goons, they never really need to do all those different things. But because they do nothing, they bribe people and they disappear, then you appear there later and you're likely to beat this person. What does the person do? They make the place ungovernable. And my party was pretty good at that. You know, they think you're a strong candidate, ballot boxes disappear, polling stations are changed in primaries. Goons, in fact, goons are not good. When you think election is going the wrong way, men in black, you know them. They appear there and ban all the ballot boxes. Then after that, results are announced. My point is very simple and it's straightforward. That actually, it is when a leader has lost legitimacy, is when an institution has lost legitimacy, that they resort to violence, so that they can use coercion rather than legitimate mandate that they've been given by the people through the constitution, through the law, and even through the moral code. Yes, that is the time when now this violence happens, and we need to be very, very careful that when government is actually being suggested as one of the drivers of violence, the first thing we must be asking ourselves, what's the quality of governance that we're getting from this government? What is the quality of legitimacy that we're getting from this government? We had riots here, the Gen Z was just happening the other day. What did the President do with these people? What they did was they brought in Raila Odinga. Why were they bringing Raila Odinga these people? To legitimize them, simple as that. There's a government that was actually losing legitimacy. These are things that really we need to really think about. And because it reaches a point when the government is so illegitimate that then people resort to other means of expressing their will. And we're saying, let's not get there, because I don't really think this government is that legitimate. I think the problem is that because if a government that's largely run by thieves, even when even when Omega speaks, like, why did you call me a thief? They're always suspecting themselves. So relax a little bit, get prayers from the chairman of CASA, Oginde. Let him pray for you, and relax first. We don't like to try you for the theft that has happened in the middle. But focus on governing this country. Focus on restoring the country's democratic basis. Focus on restoring the constitution as the center. Focus on basically bringing this independence to the issues we're talking about, starting with the Commission of Police, the IG. We need to see an independent IG who's making decisions, regardless of whether you're on the side of the president or the other way around. Focus as a leader now. We're talking leadership. When you can tell IBC, I don't care if a candidate from my party breaches these laws, they should go in. That is what leadership is. What you guys are offering us is crap, and I shall not accept it.
You see, the issue of governance, the current but they who are and its own territorial integrity. It risks the descending into the chaos of political and government. You have the importation of food by a government whose primary role is to ensure that all citizens are well protected. This government that is opening the doorway to GMO, and the GMOs have been only for instance, but we have opened a doorway to that. Now, attending to the GMA, according to they who have rejected me, is that you will then assail your body. You will then attack your own self with diseases and cancers, ailments that you will not be able to have. What does that do? It saddles your nervous system with such heavy costs of treating these cancers, these abnormal diseases, or whatever myriad of diseases that spring from that the safety of the food that is offered on the table is not guaranteed anymore. The Kenyan people have reached a point, silently, I might say, and Kenyans are very concerned about their own safety. And that's why you see they become health bugs. They want to ensure through their digital watches, how far have I run? How healthy am I? And how secure am I? When you see the totality of these decisions being made by a national assembly, for instance, a county assembly, on the other hand, and by a national government that is elected, they begin questioning, why did I elect you? If you cannot protect my borders, if you cannot protect my health, if the work that I am consuming, I have to pay more, you haven't created an environment for me to do business. It is a harsher thing to do business than it was before. So all the voices that you hear by the government trying to justify that we had a high crisis of this and that, Kenyans begin questioning that. And so they begin saying, I cannot afford you to perpetuate these sort of scenarios. Slowly, they began by saying, we cannot re-elect you. But it goes beyond that. And this is, I see, the tremendous respect to the president and they who surround him, that they are being myopic. Because the same is an attendant cry as to their members of parliament, the MCAs. Look at Nairobi County, for instance. Let me use it as a microcosm. There are people who come to this city from the constituency to work. What do they face? Traffic jam, English traffic jam. Why? Because it's poor planning. Now, when you come to elect your next member of parliament, and this is a question that I ask, because I'll go back to the elections and the election together with voter education is very important. But who affords a platform for voter education? Trump has said here, someone steals money from the government, or at least from the public office, and comes and says that elect me. I'm your best next alternative. And solely on the basis of dishing money, they then propound their name up there at the apex, and they are the most present team that you can imagine. If I may ask, because now you're the spokesperson, or at least I assume, of them who are in government, and you've been defending the IEBC, would you know, or would you recount any occasion the IEBC has told the Kalou people, forget about the Kenyan people, that we have a list of the candidates? Can you name it? You can. I'll refresh you too. The 9 candidates who are supposed to be elected in Kalou. Why? Why is there a dearth, a lack of information? Voter information is necessary for the making of an informed decision, so that you're looking at that. You're looking at those names.
To you that they did. I know Rachel, my namesake, is there. I know Kamsau is there. I know the one who rode on a donkey. I know
the one who rode on a donkey. The one who. That's the problem. Now let me finish my point. And let me speak. Let
me tell you, my interest is not knowing them as Rachel where I sit.
That's okay.
But I want to believe all Kalou people. Don't
you will answer.
looked as daft.
No, it's not that. No, I am saying the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making was
When it comes to that kind of education, ensuring that the voters do understand.
let me say this. So I tie it up with a point.
Right.
So let's assume, for instance, Rachel is offering herself to stand Bond.
Yes.
Okay. So do the people of Bond know what do you subscribe to in terms of account? What do you subscribe to in terms of family values? What are your limits in terms of corruption? Can you tolerate it? Would you do it? What are your projected views of agriculture? Which of those people can you say that they have spoken to the expansion of industry? Or at least, if I get into a position of influence, I want to eliminate in Parliament this idea that a member of National Assembly should be given a car loan. Let me advance this idea. Every member of Parliament should find a functional, mechanically feasible vehicle. During her tenure, he's going to use it, and after that, she will leave it back. But now we're being saddled with this scenario where someone is, given the nomination papers by their political party because they are the husband, the spouse of a deceased person who was elected. That becomes the sole criteria of offering that person to the election. And yet, we know very well that the spouse is independent, different from the member of parliament they had elected. So the IEBC's failure to educate the public and give them that this is the candidate who is supposed to be there. It's by law required, Rachel. Don't shake your head. Don't shake your head. And I'm not going to go quoting the law on that. If you want, I can quote it for you. It is the obligation of the IEBC. So the character of leaders that we have in proxy to good governance, and good governance, I might add, is a requirement in Article 10, Sub-Article 2C of the Constitution. It's a principle and a value that we should espouse as we get into politics. But the political space that we have, governed by the IEBC, leaves the Kenyan people without knowledge of who this person actually is. Because they are offered by their political party, for instance, UDA offered this particular person, not knowing that the election, for instance, they do not know him beyond being what he's presented to be. So we then have a chain reaction, the domino effect. We end up with people who totally fail us, who can be bought, who can be sold, who can be manipulated, who have absolutely no picture, and who have no idea where to take it. Leading me back to the point that I started, a country that does not value its youth or its children. You will hear this report that 6,000 children disappeared last year from this country without any word from the government. One child lost in such a manner means that you as a president, you are short of one election next year, the period of governance. You are short of a youth that you have told, go and register. But when it comes to the electoral vote register, the register of voting, they tell you that, well, you can only vote during the upcoming election. Where does that leave you as a Kenyan who has exercised your constitutional right to suffrage? You are faced and accosted by this poor government. And this is what Kenyans are saying. I don't want it. I want people who will be good politicians, but beyond that, who pay homage to morals, values, principles of good governance, and who know what exactly that we are getting. Please don't come and speak to me that I want to be like Singapore, within my lifetime. Excuse me.
Yeah. Let me buttress the point then she'll have the floor. It's just half a minute of what Alison said so that we don't lose track of it. You said something really important there about what exactly is it just educating people to cast a ballot? And if you look at it, looking at IBC money, if you look at the thing, you'll be surprised. But I'll just look at it as you're speaking there. And the question you're asking was whether there was voting in Kalou. Now, this is the IBC's own money. I'll just highlight a few things about it. For voter education, it talks about legal and administrative framework for voter education. It talks about the constitution. It talks about the country and national governments and how they work. It talks about political rights. It talks about leadership and good governance. It talks about the other things like electoral cycles and I don't know what. Then it talks about the electoral process itself, the nomination of candidates and stuff like that. It talks about campaigns and how some of those should have to be done, including campaign finance. It talks about that as part of voter education. Manual of IBC, by the way, drawn from the Constitution. It talks about media and the role of media in this. It talks about special groups and how they're treated in that particular process. It talks about observation, again, of the electoral process as it actually works. Then it goes on and talks about management of results and security of the process and so on. If you look at that's IBC, it's not me. That is IBC own manual to voter education. The question will be asking IBC again, the one that gets 65%. We shall be asking them again that as per your own manual, do you think you've done effective voter education in Kalou? And very soon be asking them, do you think you've done effective voter education? Because the narrow way in which politicians look at this thing is that we need to teach Omenya how to carry his ID to elect me. But that's not even in the manual. It's such a minor issue in the manual. So I think sometimes when we discuss these things, people do not look at the impact. But these particular institutions that we're talking about, that's partly why the financing gets into billions. Because this is in a university, in a primary school. You can imagine teaching all Kenyans these things that we have here. They'll get a decent budget. But after getting that budget, the question is, what the hell are they doing with it? What are they really realizing the mandate? This education that happened, where was it? I mean, publishing names of those who are contesting elections is not in voter education anyway. And you cannot say that is your claim to fame as IBC. I think Brian, if you guys can elect me a dictator just for a short while, some of these guys will be hanged quite quickly. Not you. You can be hanged.
I'll also speak on your behalf tomorrow, so you can't have me today.
Exactly.
But I think, I know.
Global, they're up to make the best of every moment. Some of the best Nama Choma to surprise the in-laws. My snacks, my drinks to keep cheering. I'm on a last-minute gift. Bio. Download the app, order Global, and get anything you want in minutes.
It was done in an open and very transparent manner, which I think a professor here will tell you that is a tenet of what?
Now the people of Kalou read the Gazette.
No, just listen.
I want to go live in Kalou for all manner of reasons.
But Gazetting is not paid.
No. They were on television saying those things, and there's a way that communication must be done. We are not going to meet each and every of the 71,000.
And was that the correct mechanism?
They had to communicate on who has been cleared. That is their mandate. How they are doing it is in accordance with their act or their laws that governs that. So if you say that you have to go on any public media or any of these media stations and do that, they did that. That was equally put on the print media as well. The names of the people who did it, who were clear to vote. I was just correcting him, saying that people may not even know. So if you did not do that, then you cannot fault someone that I wasn't in Kenya that day. Like I know probably tell you I was out of the country, so where was I supposed to know that? So if you cannot fault someone that I did not listen to, I watched television, I did not read, so who are these who are vying? The communication is up there. You just Google, Kenya nowadays there's Wi-Fi almost everywhere. You just Google, even now, who are the candidates of all Kalou, and you get the list of the 9 candidates who've been cleared, and if there's any independent or whichever political party.
So it is upon the Kenyans.
It's upon you. Provide information.
Is that the only point you're trying to make?
No, I was just clearing him. I don't know what's wrong with you. Secondly, not what you meant, what you say, what we all had, and that is what I'm trying to do. Right. Can I just
But what does God stand for?
Just listen, that's I'm coming to that. I'm here coming to that. I just started with one. No, just listen. Just listen. No, just listen to me. Just listen to me. No.
Right.
Yes, but I have to start somewhere. I have to start somewhere. Do you agree? No. Do you agree that I have to start somewhere before I respond on how do you pick a candidate?
Exactly. Who discusses the candidate, his values,
We know, all of us, we know what Chapter 6 of the Constitution talks about integrity and all that. If you look at IBC, their site, even the requirements of the candidate is there. I have violated that criteria. For you to be clear, you must get a clearance from ACC. He's talking about who is Rachel. Is Rachel found any capable of any corruption dealings and all that kind of stuff? That you cannot get from police clearance if you had been arrested or been charged or whatever. That is one. Secondly, ACC, you have to go to ICE and fill a form that you need to be cleared of any corruption or any illegality. I'm just trying, Professor.
Clearing a candidate. What we know is there. And then we're talking about voter education.
I'm coming to that. Yes. So we cannot all be met at any given point for voter education. Once, let us be very sincere to one another that the requirements by IBC in itself helps gauge a candidate's competency, helps gauge a candidate's suitability for that particular point. Just listen to me. Just listen to me. No, you can't know it all. Just listen to me. That is why. Secondly, as a voter, when these people present themselves to you and they've been cleared of any EACC, by EACC, they've been cleared by CRB and they owe you money and you know it and you've not put it out there. Are you supposed to tell now, because it's winning?
That is not voter education.
Just listen. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
What can the voters do about someone that
I'm coming to that. Effective voter education does not start when you only have a by-election. This is a continuous process. So we cannot now sit here, we cannot sit here and start saying, oh, when did they do this, or when were they at Kalou? It is a continuous process. Let's ask.
What it asked was whether there was voter education.
We are all seated here, we don't work for IBC. Let's get someone from all Kalou. Then, no, I'm not advocating anyone. I'm just saying that we are not IBC, neither are we people from all Kalou to say with certainty that there wasn't or there was voter education, especially during this period. But what I know for sure, that voter education is a continuous process.
Of course.
So we cannot say, oh, this time they did. What if they just did it before the member of parliament died? Was that not voter education enough to also get to know how do I get a good leader?
Then why is it continuous? I mean,
it is continuous because today you are here, tomorrow you are there,
you can just appear there.
That is why it's continuous. Continuous does not mean you are here every day. Even what you are doing, Professor, I didn't say that it's an event. I just told you very well, it is continuous in the sense that you don't take a particular constituency today and that is replicated.
According to the IBC that you're representing here very well.
I'm not representing IBC, but I want us to be very objective on whatever we are discussing.
IBC itself was concerned, especially given the time that we came in, whether it be possible to be effective voter education. So it's not just a measure. Questioning.
You see, we'll come up to that because I also has other issues.
Look at Brain has been completely rebuilt. Meet Brain 2. Now, work is easy. All I have to do is ask what
calendar of parliament. I know it is the law, but in actual sense,
you can't step outside the constitution.
I know it can't. But I'm asking, we can amend the constitution.
Why did we amend it?
Let me tell you.
The people allow
her to prosecute a point.
I'm not saying that we should not follow or abide by the constitution.
Yes.
What I'm saying is this. It is barely... You know, I tell you when it comes to policy, how you make policies and come up with policy, it's a process.
Yes.
And it starts with someone coming up and saying,
the policy statement, yes.
So you cannot start,
Correct.
We are not saying we do not, yes. Yeah. Of course, that is at the tail end. Once you come...
In fact, the public, there will be no end. The public participation may tell you that
we are talking about
Rachel, you are wrong, and then
you're talking about
all right. Okay, so let's focus on
let us focus on what brought us here. And let us not divert too much. You know, we're talking about Nairobi and traffic jam and all that kind of stuff.
You are not talking about it.
No, he's the one who spoke about Nairobi and traffic jam.
your point, Rachel.
Listen.
Yes.
Let us agree that voter education is a continuous process.
Yeah. But
And by even IBC coming out and telling people this is how you vet your leaders, that in itself is an education.
yes.
So we cannot stand here and start saying or sit here and start saying this was never done. Whereas we had them on television telling us these are the people we vetted, this is how we vetted them, and that is how we came up with the name of them.
That's not good education.
Just
According
listen.
to IBC's own syllabus.
No.
Yeah, really. You cannot go to a math class and start telling people Vasco da Gama was born in 1923 and then
not.
say it's
Of
math.
course not.
It's not math.
1923 is math.
What IBC is meant to do is actually in IBC's own guideline for voter education. It says exactly what voter education entails anyway. IBC themselves.
Of course they do. But do you also agree with me that even when an official stands there and tells Kenyans that ABCD, we are not actually educating all Kalou people, but we are educating Kenyans.
You know what
is
you're
the process
saying?
like?
You know
How
what
do
you're
we
saying? What you're saying is this: your child is doing maths.
No, we are not saying that.
Now,
We are not saying that.
now they go to the shop, and the shopkeeper tells them that the change that I gave you was incorrect. You'll be saying that the shopkeeper is teaching the child math. That's nonsense. Really, we can speak all manner of things, but there's a very good reason, Rachel, why IBC came up with a syllabus of voter education, and it spells out what voter education entails. All we are asking ourselves is that has that syllabus been covered? And I'm telling you that it has not been covered. Not in the country, not in all Kalou. And I'm telling you also that the owner of the syllabus and the teacher has already said that the syllabus has already been covered. So I don't even know why we're trying.
If the syllabus has not been covered, does it mean that the syllabus was entirely not covered or bit of it is still pending?
Semantics.
Not semantics, let's be honest. So if you've done, of course, we are doing maths class, you say, that is by the way, that's my favorite. So we are doing maths class. We have different whatever subjects, topics within maths.
Right.
So if you do topic 1 until 8 and you're remaining with 14 and 15, does it mean that maths was never taught?
Said he
No, does it mean maths was never taught?
because he met a mania.
No. There's no semantics. No, I disagree with you on that. I disagree with you on that. But then,
I didn't say
Then did not say that we have not done.
Then they attributed it to
No, did they say we have not?
budget.
No, did they say we have not done or they cited constraints in the process? No, did they say at Japan? No, they said no. Kuna this and this and this that is hindering us from doing effective possibility. You know, we cannot say they have not done when someone says to you, I have issues doing my work. I mean, you are doing it anyway. It's only that there are hurdles here and there, and that's what IBC is saying.
At the end of the day,
Yes.
IBC is not even complaining. IBC is saying they didn't do it.
If it is
You are the one who's complaining here.
if you're facing hurdles, then you might not be do it to your full potential.
Absolutely. That we are not agreeing. I've not said that they did effective education. I said, of course, there are problems here and there are issues, but we cannot say in its entirety the process there was no voter education. Because that in itself, even Wakili here, probably will nullify
The question that is being raised is
we can see
how is this education? There is an ideal way of doing it, and there is probably how it has been conducted. The way it has been conducted, is it effective to some extent?
I wanted that manual so that we read and analyze what is this that has not been done. Because he enumerated them, and that's why I said if you've done topics within a subject, it doesn't mean that you have not done anything. There are those that have been done within the manual.
You see,
he stick them himself, not even me.
Okay.
And I want us to go to that manual.
No. You're being simplistic.
No.
Wait.
I'll let you speak.
Okay. You will.
But you've been speaking.
Yeah. Because
You've been speaking.
No. It's about the same issue about governance and the failures that the Kenyans are facing, which then disaffects them from the so-called political class.
Right.
And when the political class goes on the ground and they find that there is a hostility which they probably cannot comprehend, or they probably cannot come to terms with. It is because of this.
And hear me out, Rachel, very well. I'm saying this. The disjunct between what a politician offers to the electorate, that I'm going to do this for you. The chain of promises the president has made to the Kenyan people. Let me use the Meru people, for instance. The chain of promises that he has made to those people on 7 different occasions, that he's going to have the Nithi Bridge fixed, and that his government has set apart billions of shillings to repair. So what can those people do? What can the electorate do except wait with bated breath, anticipation that the politician who has promised us this bridge indeed will deliver? Now, their hopes are dashed to smithereens, and it negatives whatever confidence they have in this politician, because they wait for the period. Oh, but within 6 months, I'm going to do this for you. By the December period, oh, you're going to have this bridge. But they don't have. And I'm using that as a typical example. Now, go to the EACC. The EACC lamented during the conflict of interest bill when it was being debated in Parliament. And you can have a look at the report that was generated by the relevant committee before the passage of the bill. And they said that they will weaken the institutional mechanisms and the ability of the IEC to deliver police. For instance, the adherence to the code that is supposed to be subscribed to, even in terms of the transparency of monitoring and following the Declaration of Wealth. If you look at the schedule, the first schedule to the Conflict of Interest Act, for instance, how do these members of the National Assembly, how do state officers, for instance, fill out the form for the declaration of their wealth? And you can just upload it without a signature, which does not bind you to it. That is the amendment which is brought. Now, the Kenyan voter, who then has that particular member of parliament, or ward representative, or whoever has been elected into office, to the ballot, you find that they have amassed wealth over that period of time without, and this is very important, without commensurate representation, such that this person on the ground, in the ward area, or at the constituency level, they do not have the resources that they expected this person to bring. But disproportionately, this member of National Assembly has had 3 of Gazlas, not one, maybe several, and he has a chain of businesses that they have started off like that, which is disproportionate again, I might add, to their income. So this elector then goes to the EACC. I would like to see the declaration of wealth of my honorable member of National Assembly. What is he accosted with? That Conflict of Interest Act now places almost a near insurmountable bar to this inquisitive elector. But I would like to know, my member of National Assembly entered while driving near dilapidated Toyota vehicle, and now he is having she's having a Ford Gazla, and I'm not able then to inquire into his or her re-electability. That's one time it is. Re-electability. Because now good governance would have dictated that this elector knows my member of National Assembly has come to the ground 10 times this year, 5 times this year. So by the time now they come for re-election within the mandate and the scope of the IEBC to monitor and to follow, that information is readily available. Note, the IEBC is supposed to keep a record of this person's academic qualifications and the EACC, the police, and so forth, so that the elector then can consult the IEBC. Now, this government erects another barrier to the access of information, because it tells you pay 50 shillings to the platform of this private individual for you to gain this access, which has to be quote unquote online. So I'm saying in terms of the elector knowing that the person I'm about to give a further 5-year term is actually a person who can further my interests and be on the ground for me. That comes with voter education and the opening of the doorway, such that the IEBC, remember, and let us remember very carefully, it does prescribe under the law the so-called campaign period. Campaign period. So the campaign period is a time that the law has envisaged. These electors will be afforded the opportunity to inquire and ask in a public baraza or in an open place, but not, let me emphasize, not in a captive audience where they have churches. It is prohibited by law for persons seeking to be elected to go to a church or a mosque and seek votes there. So the intendment here is that you don't have a captive audience which has been quote unquote prepared for you by a priest or a pastor or your imam there, by means of which then you go and quote unquote using that captive audience you want to sell your vote, your electability. So the IEBC, my humble view, has now come out and tell Kenyan that if you see a politician who is offering himself or herself for election or re-election coming to your church, they should keep mum, totally shut up about seeking your votes. And this idea that the president can go to a church every other Sunday and say, the responsibility is the IEBC's. Remember, when you look again at the electoral code of conduct, and I would advise every Kenyan to access it online, and you in section 6, it has a paragraph A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, going all the way. Really the aspect of that electoral code that no political party, no elected person, no individual should step outside of. One of which is that do not go to a church or a mosque to go and campaign there. So the campaign period now the electoral code of conduct does designate the IEBC's electoral code of conduct committee. That committee is the IEBC. So you do not go to a police station. This is why I was saying it rests and rests with the IEBC. You do not go report the president at a police station that you were seen campaigning for so and so in a church.
Correct.
You cannot go there. It's the IEBC. You're supposed to then write to the IEBC, this committee itself, then summoning people. And we saw that with other people. And he was summoned. We are, going to take sanctions against you because of violating the electoral code of conduct. And after he didn't show up, several summons, then he was fined. That is within the law. And I would urge anybody who wants to disabuse, anybody of the notion that this is not it. It is there in section 50, subsection 6 of the Elections Act.
I'm on the code of conduct. You said code of conduct, and there's nothing to do.
You're accountable for violating the electoral code of conduct.
It's official. GoDaddy's been voted best hosting for small businesses. Thanks to their easy website tools.
With this, I
don't know the electoral code of conduct.
But this is the code of conduct. It's a regulation, and it's here, but it's not the act.
Yeah, not the act. Pursuant to the act, and I need to correct that. I think it's supposed to be section 51, subsection 6. You can note it down so that you can...
I'm looking at it now.
Thank you. So that you can go and inform...
I'm not going to inform anyone, but we are going to inform Kenyans.
It's through the agency. It's section 51, subsection 6 of the Elections Act, which says you must subscribe to the electoral code of conduct.
But that code of conduct is what I'm reading, which is a regulation, which is referring to. And I'm not seeing anywhere in the regulation that is barring anyone talking in church. Actually, we are the ones who've been abusing the pulpit. That's why we are being barred from using the pulpit. But it's not enshrined in any regulation. So please leave the regulation. Just set aside the regulation. Just cite the regulation. No, cite the regulation. Right. We are going to be objective in Kenya. Just cite the regulation. Okay. Yeah, cite it.
So
cite it.
Yeah. If you go to regulation 6. Regulation 6D to the Kenyan public.
It says this.
Begin from the top.
Yes, that's what I want.
No. Read regulation 6 itself and then come to D.
Yes. All those are bound by this one shall, throughout an election period, listen, refrain.
That's D now.
Yes.
Go to D. Yeah, read it.
Yes. From places of worship.
No.
Yes, refrain. That does not happen.
Read it properly.
Yes, English.
Let me read it.
I was wondering why it should and should not.
Refrain from campaigning.
Yes, refrain. Refrain. What does refrain mean?
From campaigning.
No, refrain means what? No, it is not, should not.
You are not even reading.
I've read it. It's here.
You are the one who says. You are the article.
It is here. From campaigning.
No, I'll read it right.
It is here. And there's the word.
You're misreading it.
She has we communicate to the Kenyan people.
Regulation 60.
Yes.
This of the electoral code.
No. Begin by reading 6 itself, then go to D. 6 itself, then go to D.
I don't know. 6. I don't know.
I just read it.
Let me just read this anyway.
Okay,
then I can go to 6D of the electoral code of conduct. It's administered by IBC. And mandates that.
No, 6D. Refrain.
Yeah. Refrain from campaigning in places of worship or during burial ceremonies. Yes, refrain. Refrain
from campaigning.
Advisory. It is not a bus.
So that I finish.
No.
English. English.
Let me finish. So let's not trivialize it because I had a quote what she challenged me, and I think that.
And it says, ban political campaigns inside religious institutions.
Yes.
Bans.
Which one is written ban? That is, you see they're reading their own things.
No, this is the law. Just read it.
But you know I've read. I can even read it often now for you. But I wanted us to understand the phrase.
Because you have to read it.
Yes, underline.
All those bound by this code, right, shall throughout the election period, throughout from the beginning to the end, D, refrain from campaigning in places of worship or during burial ceremonies. Those are captive audience. Someone has gone for someone has gone for a burial, and these politicians come and say that you need to elect me. You know, we've got development to do. What have other people done? You know, they forget to say that, look, I use the public money to come and research. So really, out of sheer respect for the law, the IEBC should demand by telling people, the Kenyan people, that it is a breach of the Electoral Code of Conduct. And that is section 6D specifically. And I put it for her so that she can go to her interview and inform that indeed you have been acting outside the law. And that you face the imminent function of the law. You can actually be jailed for violating. And the IEBC will examine that if you do this, you can face a fine of 5 million. You can face jail. So the Kenyan people influence on that point. The Kenyan people, while possibly not told that by the IEBC, one of them. And then that informs their just tolerance of these people. That these people do not have the cheek and the knowledge or the capacity in them to look out for the electorate and ask them, have you understood and know what it is that I stand for, that I will advance if you elect me. And so all that the people know is that so-and-so is being backed by the political party called UDA or DCP or whatever it is. And that's it. And that in my humble view disadvantages the independent candidate the backing of the resource of the political party in power, for instance, to put up these advertisements, these billboards, and so on and so forth. So these independent candidates may have very good ideas. Maybe actually the person who goes to say that, look, I'm not leaning on any political side. I'm your change. I'm the one able then to transform your constitution, your world, your country by virtue of this policy. I'm not changing or tethered to any ideology that is outside what you want to do. And this person can tell them, before I make any decision in Parliament, before I make any decision at the county assembly, I will come back to you with it. I will communicate through a WhatsApp group or some other social media platform that this is what is about to happen. These are decisions about to be taken. Please, I would like you to contribute and tell me what adverse action would you face if this was taken. That is engagement of this person so that they can hold him or her to account and say that, look, your midterm now, you have not done what you told me you would do. Right now, the person goes to get elected and they have a free right all throughout into the revolving door of the National Assembly. Do they ever go back at the end of the year with a score sheet to the electorate and say that, look, you elected me this year, this is what I have done. The projects you gave me to go and execute, actually I did in half a year and I have overshot what you gave me to do. You don't have any benchmark, you do not have any accountability. Then you have this shameful scenario where someone is elected, you go to the National Assembly, you don't even have their own maiden speech. Maiden speech. And whenever a question is asked, this person is never in the National Assembly. They never pass any vote. And you do not even know where they stand. And yet, they draw a salary every single month.
How do you blame that on IBC?
Hold on. Because they have been open the doorway to this person to go and they elect him.
He's not educated. He's never been spoken.
The paradigm shift. The paradigm shift. We will not have elected people going to the National Assembly. And so much shenanigans are happening. And you hear that this country is titled what amount of trillions of debt.
You know, Brian, it's not unfair to people.
No.
Who is the one who runs to court tomorrow and say, you are not guilty until proven not guilty?
Where is that? Which case? Cite one case. Cite one case. No. Cite one case. Christian, let's throw the baby with bathwater. I am the one who voted for you.
It is so unfortunate.
No.
It is so unfortunate.
Not doing the job.
So the Kenyan people need to demand that before you come and ask me for your vote in 2020, I need to know what did you do for me if you're security. Now if you're coming to me now as a fresh candidate to tell me that you're going to, I need to know, you want to be in my constitution, my member of national assembly, how many words are there? Which word do you know needs what or whatever? I need to see your blueprint of how you're taking me to the place that you're taking me. If you, and there are those who are doing it because they are burnt out, and they are seeking re-employment to the grave payment of the National Assembly or the Senate or whatever it is. Now, you tell them, I need you to have a blueprint and I need you to meet me on the ground and I'm going to ask you several questions about A, B, C, and D and I need you to be accountable. You tell me. I don't care. You're going to go around and do this. Why do you get your money to do this thing? The Kenyan people want that level of accountability because we're talking about life and death. Now I begin by saying that an election is a sacrosanct act. It is a period where even the Constitution, the law itself declares that a public policy. And even if we put that election, it says that every employer is supposed to give you the right to go and vote without penalizing you for that day.
Brian, yeah,
sorry.
I'll just take a minute. Yeah, because I'm just
Your minute is only 7,
No.
10, 15. It's okay.
I just want to pick up Omenya, we elected you a member of parliament. As per the constitution, this is your role. And what you're doing, now you're running a business in Dubai. And that is not usual, you know. Because they don't work. We were so happy that Parliament had come in to sort of outlaw that so that they can actually have people who do the work. But my point is that we have a country where people are feeling directly and who are feeling directly. You know, when you're appointed to an office, you don't appear at all, but you earn a salary, right? And you're a member of parliament, you don't represent your people. That's a core mandate that you're meant to be doing. But then, of course, you got to convince your people that those who are doing the work there are useless and don't understand. What's important is this margin of money that you know, that you occasionally take for is there. And to me, I think, I don't even think, as per the manual of administrative education, this particular role for public officers is one of the things that IBC is meant to do. That you remember parliament is going to do and not 5, 6, 7.
Is that one of the reasons
And exactly, and in fact, you flip it now. That actually the miseducation. Once you elect Christine, now we expect. Sorry.
So let's just maintain it.
Okay. We'll keep it. So one let's wait. Then now, when my child is sick, I expect Rachel to finance it.
Yes.
When my mother passes on, I expect Rachel to finance it. When I'm broke, actually, I expect Rachel to come and pay us. You know? So we expect Rachel to fix the road in the constituency directly. We expect Rachel to fix the doctors, the clinics, and so on. And sometimes, so Rachel ends up suffering because she's there pushing for changes at national level and having these laws put in place. And looking at what is budgeted for these different things at a national level, including our constituency, and things are coming from that way. We have somebody we employed at national level to do roads. The best that you can do is to actually put pressure, you know, and prioritize some of those things. But you see, because there's not, that plan is not there. We expect that all our elected leaders must give us money. I was talking to my member of parliament, who you know very well because he wanted to kick him out. I was talking to my member of parliament to fix some small access road to my place in Bondo. Then the CDF Act was reviewed, so they could use it on roads. I stopped because I knew it was not his mandate anymore. It's not like I suddenly lost faith in the time. No, I just knew that this is not something I can. Now this is a county road. So if I want to do it, then I have to go to MCA so that you can push that. But why was I able to do that? I was able to do that because I'm an enlightened citizen. We need, all I'm saying is that Omenya will now not go to all the people and tell them, Ochanda is not the one who fixes the roads. That role is part of the
seen quite a lot of does this give the too much expectations when it comes to the people that they're elected? That now that you've been put in office, the next thing I expect is an additional vote to this particular area to some extent, and maybe this is not your responsibility, but I'd like to see another unit, because now this is what is being used to entice the residents. Will they have too much expectations on this particular member of parliament?
One, allow me to just go back to our discussion on this. We've got a problem in this country, and I thank you, Akili, that you've actually elaborated very well what our expectations should be, what we need to look for, and what is oversight, what is legislation. Do we know that as Rachel, who is going to pose to the next member of parliament for Bondo constituency, what should be the expectation of Bondo people, including my brother Professor here? Are you buying? I'm buying. That's why I'm here. You talk to me nicely. I go to bed. You should ask what I just did for Igbo people last week. Yeah. You see, you mentioned something like, what is our expectation? Even before, actually, it's what you say. You come here, and before you even present yourself as a possible candidate, people will start asking you, what have you done for us? Exactly. I was not your member of parliament for crying out loud. I don't have the privilege of the CDF kitty to probably do schools, police. It's not within my mandate. Okay. You go build a road there, we'll arrest you. So that's why I started by telling you, we should look in retrospect, what is my role, what is my duty as a voter? What is my expectation from IBC? What's my expectation from so that when you're asking Rachel here that, oh, there's this road that just passes next to your home, it is so bad, and you can't access your own home, and yet you want to buy. It is not within my mandate. It is not my mandate as at now. But once I get into that office, if it is within my mandate, I'll do it myself. Otherwise, I'll collaborate with other leaders to ensure that some of these things. You get it? So when Ochanda is telling Omena that is proof that is not within me, and I'm expecting him to be like, okay, it's not me, but however, I'm working with Kora, I'm working with whoever to ensure that road is done. That should be a responsibility of a leader. So when we look at all Kalou, the expectation from all Kalou should not be what BCP has offered during campaign. Okay? Because, for example, if you are giving aprons, are you going to continuously give aprons as the way out? It is not possible. You go back to the mandate of the person. When we are saying, has IPC done effective voter education to ensure that all Kalou people, despite the many goodies that we have seen from both sides, where do they draw the line after election, after today, where we are going to know by midnight, I believe. By tomorrow morning, we already know who is the MP for Kalou. So what is my expectation? More gas cylinders? More aprons? More rhetorics? Or my expectation is that whoever has been elected is going there to represent our needs as all Kalou people, is going to ensure that anything that passes there in terms of legislation, his voice, the voice of all Kalou people, is heard through his contribution. Is he going to oversight the government in a manner that represents the needs of all Kalou people? We have seen it many times when even a bill is passing in Bunge, then people say that my voice was not heard. But I mean, we cannot all go to Bunge. Your representation is your member of parliament.
No. Yes, I do, but what I meant, and you are agreeing with me, and just what you're saying, without sounding to agree with you, but I say because I say this member of National Assembly, for instance, or even the board, but I'm using the member of National Assembly for purposes member of National Assembly, the assumption that you now are the representative, you bear now that obligation, the weight to speak as the voice of your constituents. I'm saying, but that's okay. I'm backing this by the qualification. And this is why I say that this member of parliament, this member of National Assembly, have no right at all to go and communicate these constituents on a very weighty decision pertaining to a law. Yes, pertaining to a law. And you find, for instance, there is a specific law that governs where the Public Service Commission in the National Assembly is supposed to facilitate members of the National Assembly to do that public participation. It is there in the Public Service Act. Yes, it is right there. But it is never, not even rarely, never followed, pursued, or implemented. I didn't mean to cut it short, but I meant to say that in my humble view, before a member of the National Assembly can be able to communicate that I vote yes to this bill, they have to go back as the primary mover of the public participation, often concerning that particular bill. Because right now, the whole burden is placed on the National Assembly. Place advertisement in the newspaper, go to our website, download this bill, let's have your memoranda and comment. The member of the National Assembly has been failing in that core responsibility to take up that bill
and take it to the people.
And say, oh, you people that I represent in pursuance to Article 1 of the Constitution, Article 2 of the Constitution, do you have an agreement or disagreements to this and that and that and that? And I have all these people who have come up with me, who are experts and opinion shapers in furtherance of this particular sphere of this bill. For instance, in health, we have the medical officer, do they have that as an issue they haven't been doing it, but yet every single day.
Let me ask you.
I'm sitting. I'll read you. And then you find that we, the Kenyan people, the constituents all over, are accosted by these laws. That you begin asking yourself, excuse me, when was I ever consulted about this sort of scenario? And then you find that your member of the National Assembly voted yes. And then you ask him, could I see the Hansard of your debate where you say that I consulted my people? And the Hansard is not only silent, but totally dark.
The argument that has been given has been we elect them to represent us so they can actually speak on our behalf without necessarily...
But the question is, immediately we finish election, does it mean that then we don't have a voice? That they will speak for us all the way until when we elect another? That is not.
No, I meant to say, Rachel, on these core issues, I want you to speak, but on these core issues, it cannot be, of course, on so-called other, minor video speakers. Go ahead and speak. You don't have to, keep coming back and, consulting and all of that. But I'm saying, how about the constituency office, where we can on a regular basis go and take, for instance, correspondence, letters, or opinions, or whatever it is, or a WhatsApp group or a WhatsApp number that you have at the constituency level. And then we know that every Wednesday, our member of the National Assembly comes from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Don't saddle him, don't saddle her beyond 4 p.m. They have a family, they have private lives, so please don't saddle them. Do we have that, Rachel?
Thank you. I don't know whom King is actually referring to.
No, I'm speaking. I don't have a specific person in mind.
It's a good point. I'm thinking on
representation.
This is your
we need to unpack it.
Many constituency offices, and if you go throughout the country, we have constituency offices.
Right.
Even the one for board, I know where it is. That if I want, possibly most often the road is closed. So to that extent, I may agree with them. Maybe I don't know when the MP comes, but the few times I've been there, it is always closed. But then, all CDF offices should remain open because they even have employees, staff working there, paid working there throughout. So if any CDF office or constituency with the offices are blocked, then members of public should take that up. Yeah? With their member of parliament, or with their ward rep, or with the women rep, or the governor and the like. There's something that we keep talking about. And it is an issue in this country. That is the truth, and that is the reality. Call public participation. As we are seated here, maybe I've not come across that policy document, but I've not seen any threshold of public participation. And that's why, for me, it's prone to abuse. That we know for sure, for this thing to say has passed public participation, this particular issue, let's say like the finance bill, then you must have had this number of meetings within this number of counties and met this number of people. Where we have evidence-based reports and say, Professor here, during our meeting in the social hall in Bondo, this was his contribution. So and so this was his contribution. We don't have a proper framework on how public participation is being conducted. And that's why for me, it is prone to abuse. So you can easily say, with public participation, we did put a memo somewhere, or we published it on ladies, or we invited people, only 10 people came. So if only 10 people came on a constituency where we have 130 population, where does that leave us with public participation? So in one end, we as policymakers, it is our fault that we have not come up with proper framework. And if there is, please share with me so that I also understand. I have not seen any proper framework how public participation should really be done. That's why many cases, even in court cases that we are having, someone will take that there is no proper what? Proper public participation.
Could I read it for you before you do that? Could I read it for you? This is the Parliamentary Services Act, which in section 12 does elaborate this it talks about oversight and public participation programs. It begins by saying, subsection 1, pursuant to Article 118(1)(b) of the Constitution, each member of Parliament in the Senate and the National Assembly shall facilitate public participation in the legislative and other business of Parliament and its committees through public awareness campaigns in the members' area of representation. We were all going for it. Subsection 2. For the purposes of subsection 1, each member, not elected, shall A. establish public participation in oversight programs for his or her area of representation. Correct. This is what
there's something I'm waiting for.
This is what was informing my saying, show us your blueprint. Show us how you got it. Okay, subsection B.
But that is the member of Parliament.
Hold public hearings on matters of public interest within the area of representation. C. Facilitate access to information held by the legislature. Like I said, show me the Hampshire.
Exactly.
The Hampshire, what did you do? How did you contribute to this? D. Facilitate the participation of the communities in the engagement with government departments on financial matters. This is what I was saying. Is the specialist that I came to he's addressing you. Subsection 3.
Stop narrowing it to member of Parliament.
I'm reading what the law. Because you say this is you say general.
I say read for me.
Rachel. Okay, Rachel. You say
there's something I'm looking for. That's why I want you to read.
No, on the other hand, there's a business also there. When you say that these provisions are there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Okay, from your perspective, you say that you are not aware.
There's something I'm looking for. That's why I say the threshold of the threshold.
I'm enlightened.
That's what I'm looking for.
Hold yours.
That's what I'm looking for. Now
Subsection 3.
Is that threshold that I'm
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Each House of Parliament shall prescribe in the standing order. That's why you need the threshold.
Just continue.
The manner of undertaking public participation under this section. That's why you meet the standard. Now subsection 4. I close. This is the last subsection. Right. In section 12. I'll get a screenshot for you and I'll share it with you. You need to arm yourself.
Because I want to explain what I want.
Yeah, let me finish. The Commission shall provide services and facilities necessary to actualize the objective of this section. I'm saying...
Bring it, then I explain. You've read this. You have to just read. Now, this is what he has read. That each House of... Yes, you've taken. That each House of Parliament shall prescribe in the standing order the manner. So today, if you decide that you're only going to have 3 meetings, that is full representation. That is good. Is that sufficient?
No.
Let's That's what I'm saying. Show me.
We go back to the law and we go back to the intention.
No, tell me the law that says that when Ochanga goes to Bondo.
Fundamental question. Why do we need public participation?
And that is what the issue is.
Let me finish. Okay, let me provide. I will not read. I'll show you the provision.
Anyway, saying when a member of parliament, like what you are reading, that establish a public oversight program for his own, which any member of parliament, for example, who's gone outside there and showed us, this is my program for public participation on these issues pertaining to the constituency.
You see, you're given the leader there without any restriction.
And that's why I say it is just open to abuse. Didn't I say?
No. The Public Service Commission, for you to provide you with the facilities, for you to provide you. No.
When you give them the leeway to do it their way.
What then constitutes? Let me then answer this for you. You can't block me.
My point. I just didn't finish what I was explaining.
But you say there was no more.
Okay, just still on the point that Rachel has said, most of the time normally we have lack of sufficient
Did you go to Barazas?
Yes, they did. What they felt was sufficient.
No. The law
that leeway is being abused, Professor.
What's done? Allow me. What is anticipated is that then at national level we'll be having a public participation act that can now deal with the details that we're talking about, including education. Similarly, at county levels, and by then many counties have passed that that's not spelling out, that's not fleshing out, the number of meetings that you must have.
And to see, they do it, well, in fact it is written there, like you have to, particular information, whatever you want to put out there, that is when you come up with the regulations or the framework for conducting that.
The Constitution cannot spell out how public participation.
No. That's why I say it is being abused. My concern is, as a policy person like you, is that can we ensure that this framework...
So these will come at regulations level. And we can keep changing.
The framework. Yes, that regulation can be changed to support, to work with the Act. When you say for a public participation to be effective, we need you to have 8 barazas, or if you have 6 wards, and that's what I'm saying. The Act has no problem. That's why I say our people are abusing this privilege.
Right.
That's what I started by saying. I don't know why I'm being fought. And you're saying the same thing.
You're not being fought.
Especially with Wakili here. I'm just telling you, we need to ensure that the regulation which is supporting the Act is very clear so that we don't have so many court cases in the name of there was no sufficient public participation.
Why you taking? You took so long to make that point.
No, I've been saying that you didn't want to listen. Just because I'm very ready now, you all want to shout. I started by explaining myself very clearly, but because you have to agree on everything that I say, you brought it up.
On this one we're with you. All right. We're saying.
You are just thinking I'm representing the government.
No, okay. I get your point.
He had asked me something about Kalou people and the goodies. Yes.
No. He mentioned about the county level.
Honestly.
The county government.
So that we don't.
I was responding.
You responded very well.
So then why don't we leave it at that?
No, we're making our concluding submission.
An opportunity. When the note is still mine, I'm the one who tells people.
Okay, Brian is very happy with that particular position.
Finally, Rachel, you wanted to conclude on the Kalou.
No.
I can't quite.
Allow her to for your benefit. Allow her to finish. Then we'll come back.
That's why I was clear.
No, it's a county government have.
The
role of a village.
We were talking about his question was on the member of parliament. I think we were very clear.
I did
not say the county government have not come up with a plan or any regulation to help strengthen the Act on how they should conduct the parliament.
I'm just saying here, it's for your benefit. It's for your benefit, Rachel. In the event you become... Don't close your mind.
See it kindly.
I want to give you. It says here, a village council shall be responsible for ensuring and coordinating the participation of the village unit in governance.
Okay.
Right. So does that still give you the threshold?
No, they're breaking for you.
Exactly.
Distributing responsibility.
As a policy person, you may not understand.
That's
you
don't be dismissed.
I'm not being dismissive, but the truth is that the professor here, who is a policy person, will tell you there's a threshold to some of this.
I might need my legal services.
Yes. legal services if the party decide to deny me ticket, I'll come.
You are responsible for the all Kalou goodies before I look at campaign finance.
Yeah, and we are just saying that this speaks to what we look for in leadership, largely, and we all agree to that. That if the Kalou people now wants to forget the role of a member of parliament whom they're choosing only a year before, and so put their expectations up there, that now, even though only a section of the constituents were given gas cylinders, are now pushing him to get other gas cylinders for the rest of the constituency, then that will be wrong. Now that is what Ross and Wakili here are talking about, that you are pushing your member of parliament now to start engaging in certain things that ideally is not. You understand? So I think it is very clear. It should be very clear. It should be very clear to Kenyans, not just on Kalou people, that we need to understand the role of women rep, members of parliament, the Senate, governors, MPs, any elected position. Please try and understand. Even where the IBC has not come to give you civic education on some of these things, please make it a mandate yourself that I want to understand. Why does she want to be a member of parliament? Can she actually do justice to the three roles of a member of parliament? If not, then don't elect such a person. Then we now don't start blaming IBC that you never someone who only stands, as Papa used to say, we only see them when you're going to for a biological or whatever call. No. We want to see you represent us by talking in Google and making sense in Google, not just talking.
But even the commission should attempt to make sure that...
Not attempt, they should continuously educate Kenyans.
All right, yes.
Continuously, you see, I say earlier on, the IBC is mandated by law to provide us with a report of the answer period before the election, what was the scenario in all Kalou. I'm talking about this particular by-election. During the election, this is what comes from. And now, post the election, this is the report. That report is available for interrogation, both to the Kenyan people at large and all Kalou. Now, that is a responsibility. You, I, or her cannot usurp. You cannot get from the IEBC, and as she has rightly pointed out, the obligation placed on the member-elect for all Kalou ought to be very clear. You are going to fulfill the constitutional and legislative mandate of these people. You're not going there to perform your duties. You're not going there to be their benefactor or be a channel between the presidency and yourself. There are channels to do that, and you're not there. And the IEBC must provide us with that. For what reason? Two purposes. One is an audit report of the all Kalou bylaw. Did you meet so that we can you meet the threshold of what you're required by law and the Constitution? Two, going forward, what are the lessons that we can learn from these all Kalou by-elections, which are informative of where we are headed to? Are there some bottlenecks that you make in terms of the execution of this by-election that we could actually avoid? Or if they want them to germinate and blossom into something much more larger, we are likely to get into some electoral doldrums. Maybe a change in the 2007 period. So that would help. But if, like in the there no, when I haven't seen the report, maybe they are waiting for the court case to end. I do not know. But I haven't come across it. So I do not know how much time the IEBC will give it. So for me, it will offer those two fundamental lessons and be an insight into the conduct of this. And perhaps I should add by saying it will help us then make an inquiry. Did you IEBC expend to the penny what you were supposed to expend as you supposed or you told us budgeted for? In short, did you get value from us?
Still on that particular point, let me now take us to campaign finance, because we still have to have a limit on this. And when we actually get to start debating in regards to how much money is actually being spent in a campaign.
They put a limit. They put a limit. Yes. There was a legal notice. It was published 2 weeks ago. 4 billion for the presidential. In any constitution.
Then what happens to the parliamentary? How much are we
No. They also gave a graduated. I can't remember offhand each of those feelings but they did. You can go the war representative. You can go. I think beyond 2 million. I can't remember. there was a little bit.
Does that then include the people that will be supporting you during the campaign period itself?
Yes.
So, because right now we are looking at this by-election, and if whatever is being displayed is anything to go by, they seem to be quite a lot.
It should. Yeah, that's a cap. Quote unquote, the maximum that you can spend for that particular election or by election. And the IEBC, again, being the arbiter of the election, you know, objectively arrived at that. And then also, it invited public participation for you know, make your comment what will be the highest ticket, what will be the right reasonable amount to be spent. So, I mean, that has been set by the IEBC. Now, I think it is important for people then to leave or to operate to conduct the election within that feeling, so as to avoid what I was saying earlier. You make the playing field more lopsided to they who can marshal, regardless of the source of funding. Let me say this very important, because I'm very much against a presidential campaign. I'm honing in on the president, where the president becomes the slave of technocrats, industrialists, so-called foreign investors, and now the ballooning mineral rare earth prospectors. And by that I mean, if they find that so-and-so is a likely candidate to open the leeway to our resources in Kenya to steal the thing without any accountability and without any sort of profit being questioned, we will support them back. And for me, I would ask, beyond that, the ideological leaning of such a presentation. I would ask them, first, are you a Zionist? Are you a supporter of Zionism? Why? Because we have the emasculation of leadership across the world by people who are essentially Zionists. Why? Because they then stop being patriotic. They stop being focused on the development of the country. Now they become slaves to the enlargement of the Greater Israel project. And they can do anything, like receiving a missile launcher worth $25 billion in December 2025. How is that helping us? But that's a debt that we owe to the state of Israel. How is that helping us? And then we have a climate change sort of, maybe it's a directed energy weapon. I probably could be right on that or wrong on that. And then he receives it, and so he becomes captive to the Zionist movement. And without judging anybody, I mean, look, you seize them leading and representing your people. So for the IEBC to cut that, then you then say that, look, these sources that are external to this country are cut off, and you forbid them to come and sponsor your candidate there, while cloaking that he or she is representing your interest, that he is patriotic. But when he gets the power, as now we have seen, he will cede all our wealth, surreptitiously, or otherwise. Go to foreign country, sign agreement with them, and then we find ourselves, we do not have the wealth of our minerals, we do not have the wealth of our blue economy, quote unquote. That's why you're finding, foreign ships going into the open sea in our own territorial area, and they take away our wealth in terms of the fish. And then what do we have? Poverty. And then we have a dream to go to.
The irony, Brad, we do actually on campaign finance and expenditure. Yeah. The Election Campaign Finance Act of 2013. And that act actually mandates IBC to develop regulations of campaign financing. We start highlighting what is there. So a lot of these things we're talking about have already been provided for. And the question is are they being affected? He talks about declaring resources. He talks about limits of contribution to the campaign. He talks about anonymous contributors and even sources illegal sources for campaign. It talks about prohibited contributions. Businesses cannot actually have a campaign that is not supported by organizations. It talks about disclosure of campaign funds. It talks about surplus. Because part of this act requires that you do a budget. That
advertising.
And it says exactly what you can use that budget for. And that budget has been launched. And then you're meant to also launch your audited after the campaign. So you might end up with surplus. Spending limits. It empowers IBC to put spending limits like the ones that we're talking about here. And actually then enforce it. Then it even talks about authorized campaign committees. Those things are spelled out. Advertising, again, campaign personnel, all those things, transportation, and other whatever, media coverage, and stuff like that. So actually the issue is that,